Meanwhile, Draza still in a bit of trouble, actually, but actually pulls off the 1v2 and lands it. Can he actually hold, though? Manages to get that kill onto Syndrana while also kind of surviving Zintrax at the same time. That's not going to be revival here, I don't think. Oh, but actually, Zintrax finds that kill, and Sin maybe gets the teleport. Zintrax going for the sword, has balance stars, gets it. A little maybe too greedy there from Draza, and mercilessly punished here by Zintrax, utilizing that balance stance to guarantee that stomp while Syndra teleported and stealthed away. That was kind of nice, actually. Sin able now to go for that stealth, going for the decap. Right, let's go! No time for Weaver rotations. It's time to get into the mix here, guys. We have got some big content here. It's the monthly. It's 5 rounds. It's the Champion Skull. Look at these team names. Eternal Illumination. Yo, what a team name. Mad Dog. But anyway, let's get into this first round and see what's going on. This actually is exciting. This is Caspi versus Zananand. Oh, it hasn't even started yet. We can't even have a look. But we'll be able to pretty soon. And there's been some pretty big roster shifts, actually. This is going to be an interesting one. Esprit playing on a non-French team. Okay, that's what's going on there, guys. I don't know. We're about to find out. But we've got the familiar faces in here. We've got Sakaya. We've got the Powerhouse of Doom. Who are these guys? I've got to check this out. Wait, who's the Powerhouse of Doom? What is this? Yo, look at this. Powerhouse of Doom, the raid boss. Who are these gamers? Wait, what? This is actual PvPers. This is Crafty K's team, actually. This is actually based. Cryptus Lord Nandal. Okay. Oh, dude, this is like the... Man, we've got like the Daily AT crew here.
It's the Capricorn.
What a matchup. But anyway... Let's see what other teams we've got going on there. That's a pretty interesting one. Who's Sakaya playing with, actually? Let's see. Let's set the scene here for this one. Oh, this is a fucking roster, actually. Hang on. Yeah, we have Sakaya here on the Spellbreaker. And yeah, this is apparently a very popular build right now, the Spellbreaker build. Very hard to kill, actually. Kind of survives pretty well in the +1. We're seeing that here. Donkey Kong. And yeah, Support Guard. Still going strong, actually. People thought it was all Chrono. And I think in a lot of ways it will. I think it will still be the most popular pick for support, but it's still going strong, actually. Relic of the Trooper, Dolyak, and Avatar. I mean, it's same build as usual here, as you can see here, for the Support Guardian. Definitely a powerful alternative to the Chronomancer if you prefer this one. Fly, also known as the Rotator, here on the Spectre. And we could be seeing a lot of variants of Thief, actually. I think there's a lot of Thief builds going around right now, actually. Like Deadeye, obviously still incredibly powerful. Spectre, too, did see play in the last monthly. On the winning team, in fact. And I think even Daredevil is also seeing some play. A couple of, like, really degenerate, like, perma-dodge Daredevil builds coming up right now, too. Gauntlet. Here on the Reaper, this Death Magic build is so powerful, right? Like, it's still very, very strong. Kind of dominates these team fights. Very tanky as well with the Death Magic. Having that Carapace, right, for the protection uptime with Corruptus Fervor, but also just the 300 toughness that you get, right, for having 30 stacks. And you have that pretty much all the time, you can see. Very durable. Kind of makes up for not having Soul Reaping. It was like this trait's also pretty damn good too, right? Like whenever you go in Shroud, you gain some life force depending on how much Carapace you have. Really helps out with your sustain too. It's just a very good build. It crushes the team fights, works well with the support. And Erazik here on the Vindicator. You know, I felt like Vindicator, people forget how disgusting this build actually is. Well, I actually know. Do they though? Do people forget that? Maybe they don't, but yeah. Power Vindicator is absolutely disgusting right now, to be honest. It is gnarly going up against this one. Lots of evades, lots of good defensive potential as well, especially with the Salvation kind of trait line that gets, you know... Look, trust me, guys, if you see any Rev playing Salvation, you know that something's gone wrong. Like, if there's any build in PvP that uses this trait line... abandon all hope, and you'll certainly find that out if you play against this build like Hammer and the Greatsword there. And you know, Hammer, like, surprisingly coming into its own, like the kind of the animation adjustment on Drop the Hammer, alongside like having that pretty good evade on Hammer 3 combined with the block on Greatsword. And then of course you've also got the evade baked in to Shiro with Riposting Shadows, and indeed on Alliance stance as well. And you've got a build that's actually kind of hard to kill, actually, because of the evade frames, and of course the damage reduction that comes through from Unyielding Devotion, and just having this, you know, defensive trait line. Bit of healing, right? A bit of cleanse going on there too. It's pretty good. Pretty damn good there. Rune of the Fighter and Relic of the Daredevil Berserker Amulet there. And you can see the damage of this build very, very high. And there it is. But yeah, that's going to be a strong team. That's a powerful team, actually. Let's see what we've got going on here, actually. This might be quite an exciting game, I think, actually. All right, how's started? Let's leap into it. Honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I actually really like this map. I'm kind of a big enjoyer, actually, of Capricorn in general. I think it maybe leans a little team fight heavy with the Bell. The Bell is maybe, you know, something that could be tuned differently in some way or modified, like maybe a slightly bigger node, perhaps, or something like that in some way with a bit of a map design. But overall, I'm a big fan of this map, actually. I also like the color palette. I do like the color palette. But anyway, let's get into it. What do we got going on here? We have Grim. Nice. Okay, Zananand. I think this is actually Helio, though, if I'm not mistaken. Not, in fact, Zan. You know, we're seeing the Chronomancer as opposed to the Engineer. We've got Zan, #1 sim. It's Boyce here on the Untamed. And yeah, dude, I think, wow. It looks like Draza really didn't enjoy losing the last tournament, did he? Because we've got quite the roster there. We got Boyce, we got Draza, Riken, and the Honored One, Pain, here on the Daredevil. Look at that stuff. You'd love to see it. Oh, interesting relic choice here. Relic of Mossen. Remove a non-damaging condition whenever you evade an attack with the Rune of Vampirism and the Berserker Amulet. That's like really not wanting to get slowed down or snared in any kind of way. And of course, dealing with blind and weakness. Bear in mind, that's included in that as well. Riken on the Vindicator. Yeah, and well, you can kind of see how this one's going. It's a little bit of a rough game, actually. Like, blue team is getting completely destroyed right now. Yeah, it's kind of the usual suspects here. The Spellbreaker, again, very, very powerful here. You see that with the defense straight line. Very tanky, very good at these 1v1s. Great in the outnumbered scenarios here. Remember the Deadeye for a bit more precision as well, making those crits very reliable. 85% crit chance there. And Relic of the Midnight King as well, actually. Interesting. Kind of guaranteeing that Fury uptime. I think it's kind of like the big motivator there, I think, is to have that Fury, like landing those CCs, getting those interrupts. With, of course, you know, the kind of the Spellbreaker kit. That, you know, kind of brings into the play there. A lot of Fury there to guarantee that big damage critical strikes. You know, one of that was inspired. I was watching Draza duel Boyce, and they were both complaining about not critting on Spellbreaker. So I think that's, you know, that's what's going on there. Making sure that that does indeed happen this time around. But a little bit of build variety, of course. And this is the Chronomancer. So we saw that. Rune of the Druid, just maxing out that healing. I think there's a couple of rune choices you can go with. I think some players opt for a bit of toughness. Some players opt for more healing, as you can kind of see here. Relic of the Flock is, it's pretty much like a done deal on this build. So powerful with Mantra of Recovery there, the heal mantra. And, of course, the usual suspects here as well. Temporal Enchanter. If you play with feedback, you go with that. If you don't play with feedback, you might play a different trait there, usually Ego Restoration. But we are playing with feedback here, so that's why it's being used. The extra super speed and resistance, very much invaluable in these situations. But yeah, very powerful team. That's a big one. This is going to be a tough team to beat, I think, for pretty much everyone here. Let's see if we've got anything else going on here. See if we can locate. I think this is a Spree's team here. Tack. Yeah, this is a Spree, isn't it? Tack Necromancer. Here we go. Blue team on the Reaper. Chaotic Knight of Doom on Harvinshire. We have Wolf Spider on the Untamed. Maya here on the Spectre. And Enigma on the support Chronomancer. Let's see if we see any Firebrands. Like, you know, all those buffs. Seriously. Imagine, guys, imagine being ArenaNet right now. Like, they buff Firebrand every patch for what? 2 years in a row? And nobody plays it. Like, that's got to feel pretty bad. You know, like, you know, well, you know, and maybe just when it got to the point where you maybe start to play Firebrand, you know what happens? They make Chrono good. And now everyone's playing Chrono. You hate to see that. You really, really do. It's brutal stuff. Unlucky. Seacod imported to EU. Yes, we have. Well, I mean, look, honestly, it's about blade time we got some two-way streets here, Trig, yeah? Because there's always, like, a couple of EU teams that play on NA, right? Where's the reciprocity been? Yeah? Also, I want to point out this team is based running triple Willbender. That's actually unfathomably based. Oh my goodness. Anyway, this game is obviously over. But yeah, I think we'll see that team. That team we're going to clash with Draza's team, that's for sure. That's the match you're going to be looking at. I definitely think so. I think this team is also quite powerful. But yeah, these rounds are going to be fairly straightforward, as they often are here in the first round. Nothing too crazy or controversial here yet. Nothing too crazy with that one. Are there any, maybe, kind of fun pug games? If we can find some fun pug games. They're actually all kind of ending, aren't they? They were all pretty one-sided as well. Not a lot going on in these matches. Yeah, I think they're really ending. I think this is the only one going. Boom. Red team winning. Can blue team come back? Let's kind of think about this. I mean, wait, if Nandel does a crazy hold, maybe? This has to be like a big 1v2, though. Almost like winning this 1v2. It is against a support guardian, so there's actually a little bit of potential. But it, well, I mean, it is also a druid here, and that's going to be basically free casting because of that support guardian here on the red team as well. So, but Nandel actually is kind of holding. Is now going to have to fight this druid at very, very low health. Oh, this might be a death, actually. The condies are really starting to tick. The barrier comes through with the Soul Beast. The DPS comes through. The heal skill as well is now returning, actually. But yeah, the problem is the red team is kind of winning the rest of the map there. They've got this Bell lockdown. Crafty's trying to get in there and hold this. But yeah, not able to do that. 1v2 is a little bit too much, especially with a little bit of fire coming in from the red Revenant as well. And yeah, blue team gets cleaned up and the Bell will be captured. That is going to be the end of that.
Red team, ring the bell. Fire
It is over. I think that's the end of the first round. It's over. GMs watching. Shout out to the GMs. Keeping us safe from bad behavior across the board. Yeah. What's up next? This could be a relatively interesting matchup, I think. Eternal Illumination. Let's see what's happening. I think this is kind of a pug team. They're going to have a rough one. Let's see. Apparently there is a good game here. This one? All right. What is going on here? Cranel team, huh? Okay. All right. So we got the Untamed here. Cranel on the Daredevil. We have Ginger on the Catalyst. Malgus. I see this guy in Daily AT's lot on Support Guardian. And Xeon on the Reaper. Interesting team comp, for sure. Catalyst, kind of getting into the mix there, but, you know, you still have the Necromancer with the support. Of course, you have the Thief, but they're going to be going up against a powerful roster here. Double Necromancer still, and of course that's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Do have the 1v1 potential, of course, in the you know, the form of this Untamed. I'm kind of surprised to see no Vindicator coming up here on the red team. But who needs it? Blue team doesn't need it either. Let's see what's about to go down. I think if I had to guess, red team favored here. And double Necro in the team fight is going to be pretty gnarly, I think, for blue team to deal with. They're going to have to try and kind of outmaneuver and outrotate, I think. I think fighting the double Necromancer directly it's not going to be fun. Yeah, 0 Vindicator game. So I think quite a very important matchup here, actually, is going to be the interaction here between the Untamed and, well, the other Untamed for a start, but also the Catalyst here on the blue team. Like, getting value out of this Catalyst, I think, is going to be important. I think they need to set this Catalyst up in kind of these important matchups, like able to kind of be in these smaller skirmishes, I think, where the Catalyst kind of wants to be. That's what blue team needs to make happen here. And kind of dodging the double Necro fights as much as possible. All right, here we go. So red team going for the split. Going for the push. Just kind of hovering around middle here and just trying to get the Untamed plonked down on a node over here. That's exactly what they're doing. Meanwhile, the, other Necromancer was kind of just defending and now pushing towards middle. I don't think blue has, what is blue doing? What is their plan? Like, that's what I'm kind of struggling with here. Like, I don't think blue knows what to do here. And how to actually approach this. And this is definitely one of the things that you are going to see as a big differential between, like, the more experienced teams and the less experienced teams, is that the more experienced teams understand how to play openers and how to kind of rotate in the early game and navigate this stage. And you can see that in full force here. Red team completely dominates the opener, already picking up a kill over here. That allows them to collapse onto middle. Didn't even yield the cap on mid, and they're able just to start this team fight. And again, that's where they want to be, right? Like, this Catalyst is gonna have a bit of a rough time versus double Necro, I think. In this fight, we have the revive coming through, and I think it is going to land. But again, I think Xeon is simply just going to fall again, or at least the Catalyst looks like it is actually going to be a 2-for-1 deal. In fact, maybe even a 3-for-1 with the Guardian falling. And yeah, again, kind of a catastrophic opener, to be honest here. For the blue team. Just again, yeah, I don't think they really had a response. And it was, you know, red team's plan was completely uncontested here, rotationally speaking. And as a result of that, they got the fights that they wanted, right? They picked the fights, they got the fights, and they won the fights. And, well, I hate to say it, but if that is anything to go by, this is going to be a very, very rough game indeed. Goodness me. Yeah, in fact, this game is kind of over. Let's go look at something else. It's over!
Did you see that? Red team got a capture point.
What about this game? Oh, yeah, that's also, it's not looking good for the blue team here as well. It's over.
Red team wins a
What's
capture
up?
point.
Let's see if we can maybe find... What's this team name? Artificial. It's got, like, the special characters. Ah, here we go, yeah. I told you. See, guys, I can detect this stuff. I can see it a mile away. If you see a PvP team, and it's got a name that's kind of weird or kind of barely makes sense, like doesn't really make a lot of sense, if it's got like weird special characters on it, that's where the real PvPers are at, guys. And we have found them. We have Notamelon, Zintrex, the Master of Disaster, aka Misha, one dodge man on the Chronomancer, Syndrana here on the Deadeye, and... that's right, guys. The political commentator, Ben Shapiro, is here again. Bet you didn't know he played Guild Wars 2, but now you do. Here on the Holosmith, it is, of course, Demolish. Welcome. You know, that's incredible stuff. But yeah, Misha is here. He's ready to go. Ready to blast. Another very powerful team, actually. I think, you know, you can never underestimate any team that has Misha and Syndrana on it. A powerful combination, that's for sure. Actually, the only thief we've seen playing Deadeye so far, which is surprising, actually, to me. I think that, you know, there's definitely a bit of personal preference. I know Sind is like a big Deadeye enjoyer, but I certainly think Deadeye is very, very powerful right now in the current metagame for PvP. I'm kind of surprised to see it not kind of popping up a little bit more, actually, in this regard. But yeah, there you have it. Again, kind of a similar composition. No Untamed this time. Kind of the Untamed being replaced by the Holosmith. A little bit, in fact, for our blue team. Having the Spellbreaker here from Zintrex is no surprise. Not only because it is a strong build, but obviously Zintrex, big warrior main, he loves it. He loves to Spellbreak and go crazy. Red team are no slouches, by the way, though, actually, guys. We do have the Druid here, and also a Chronomancer. Wait, is this a... wait, what is this build, actually? This is not support Chrono, is it? Yeah, this is DPS Chrono, actually, coming through from the red team. I got... whoa, so, whoa. Got a little bit bamboozled there. And then double Vindicator with Zeolith and 1v2 machine. Nice. And Goku, of course, here on the red team. So far, blue team actually having the advantage, but all that can change very, very quickly, of course. But yeah, not Zeolith being taken out here is certainly not a good sign. And there's a little bit of an absence of a support player here on the red team. And that is going to complicate things, I think. Like, taking these fights, having that support is very, very potent in these situations, right? It allows you to have that sustain and just outlast your opponents a lot of the time, and we kind of see that here. Blue health bars are looking a little bit low right now, but they might be able to stabilize. Ben Shapiro does fall here. Demolish being taken out by the Vindicator, so it's actually going to be a 1-for-1 trade right now, but the Spellbreaker does end up falling here. Misha in a little bit of trouble, has to cut away on the Chronomancer, but should be pretty much good to go at this point. But yeah, as you can see here, the match relatively competitive, in fact. Good to see this early on in the tournament. Very exciting. Oh, they have a heal Vindicator. Oh yeah, I didn't actually yeah, I just didn't see that one coming. It is in fact a heal Vindicator. Yeah, interesting decision to go in that direction. So they do in fact have a support, but it's just, you know, it's not the one I would have expected. Let's put it like that.
The artifacts have reached maximum.
Anyway, blue team entering the team fight, ready to pump, ready to go unhinged. Let's see how it actually goes. You know, weirdly enough, there's not a crazy amount of teamfight damage in this fight currently. Like, the Vindicator for Blue is actually picking up the buff. And actually, I believe the DPS Vindicator is actually doing the same on the other side for Red. So, not a crazy amount of damage. But still, having said that, the Chronomancer actually able, I think, to completely destroy the Holosmith here. With the assistance, of course, of the rest of the Red team there. That's going to be a confirmed kill there. Now, like, looks like the Blue team are starting to kind of get back into this team fight there, but they're going to have to run away at this point. Cinder actually dies too, the Vindicator, able to pick up this kill. That's a really, really not good death, because that's not only the Thief taken off the map entirely for the Blue team, that's going to be the sword buff, the damage buff, now also unlocked for the Red team, which is going to make all of these fights much, much easier to handle, I think. And here we go. Blue team kind of scrambling to find something. Not quite able to get the fights they need currently. There's the Scepter pull from the Rev. Look at that lightsaber swinging around all over the place. Zintrix looks like he might be able to just barely get away, though. Has Mending able to heal himself. Absolutely no problem before reinitiating here on this fight. Looks like we're going for a big 5v5. Who's going to win? Honestly, a little bit difficult to predict, if I'm being completely honest. Let's see what actually happens here. Looks like the focus target is, in fact, going to be Goku. Goku getting taken out there. Glyph of Stars has actually already been used there by the Druid. So there will not be that revive potential if they do go down, say, at a later date. Still focusing that, and yeah, the Deadeye lands a crushing blow, securing that kill. But the Vindicator here on the Blue team in a little bit of trouble. Might also go into the downside. In fact, does. And that's the sword buff. That's going to be a kill. That will get finished. Oh, no, never mind. They were able to get saved by the shield, actually. So never mind, the sword was not able to kick in. And with that, Blue team are able to actually sweep that fight. That was the battle of the buffs. The sword was going for the stomp, going for that kill while the revive was coming through. But the shield actually saved the day and completely carried this fight. And Red team gets completely crushed, completely dominated here. And now let's see what Blue team can actually do to convert this. Of course, the Thief immediately dashing out to the sides of the map over to this Dragonode to get some control of that. Meanwhile, the Holosmith trying to keep the pressure up, trying to delay the rotations out of respawn from the Blue team alongside the Vindicator here from the Blue team as well. He's able to get away there. A little Mesmer portal, saving the day there with that rifle. And now we have the re-engage. What is the target going to be here? Ooh, Vindicator gets pulled in and immediately bursted very, very hard. But the re-heal from the Chronomancer is going to be good. Again, it is going to be a very heavy focus onto Goku, onto GS Bow here. But the heal for the Vindicator is indeed good, of course, in addition to the Warrior's other defensive sustain abilities. Rampage coming now through, and looks like they're going to try and turn it around back onto the Blue team here. Vindicator running for the eyes. Looks like Blue team want to disengage. They don't want to overextend too much right now, or at least play the fight a little bit more passively before they feel like they have some ability. Nice blink portal combo there. Look at that. Kind of almost like allowing the Vindicator to blink using that Mesmer's mobility there as well. Very powerful little combo there coming through from Misha. And Blue team managed to defuse that situation, even capping the node. I believe that was Demolish capping that kind of while this little chase was going on. They're now extending their lead a fair bit. But actually, we do see Demolish get caught, which isn't ideal. And yeah, I think we actually have, we have the strength build, no defense here from Goku. And that makes sense in this comp, right? They kind of need that. You don't want to be running too many things that are a little bit tankier, like need some DPS here. But they already have the Druid kind of being that kind of more tanky duelist thing, a little bit more kind of hybrid even with a little bit of healing on top of that. So going with strength, I think makes sense. Need some DPS, need some punch in these fights, and that's what Goku is attempting to provide here. Support is good. Looks like Zealith might be the target, actually. He's got to be very, very careful. Bear in mind, Ventari is a little bit interesting. It does not have a stun break on Ventari, which can leave it a little bit vulnerable sometimes. It's one of the reasons why I think it doesn't see a crazy amount of play. And yeah, Zealith not quite able to actually keep Goku alive through all of this. The damage output from the Blue team is pretty massive, and now we actually have a lot of trouble there for Zealith. They're trying to disengage this, but the Blue team, they are very much on the warpath here. Demolish, Holosmith really going for it, looking to find these kills onto Zealith, and the remembers of the team. Some good kiting, though, actually, and Blue team not quite able to finish the job. Red holding on quite nicely here, but there we have Zealith drop down. That's where things get really, really scary. Has to get off the hiding spot, and, well, there you go. The Blue team see that opportunity, and they go for it. Druid does get the revival, though. Glyph of Stars, it's a damn good ability in these situations. And let's see if Blue team have used too much. Are they able to actually continue fighting here? Nice disengage here as well, though. By Demolish, playing it safe here, playing it smart. Looks like they want to maybe defuse this fight. They don't really want to be fighting into that double support setup there, or kind of like the double healer setup. They don't really want that to happen. And yeah, Blue starting to think about leaving. They still have a very big points advantage, and at this point, I think they know they've kind of won the game. Unless they massively throw, there's no realistic way, I think, for the Red team to actually get back into this. Like, the game is just a little bit too slow. Zintrax And, of course, King Dongo Bongo just trying to hold on as long as possible here on middle with the support of Misha. Heal goes off as well there for Zintrek, so he's going to be good to go, at least for the time being. We do have Syndra get caught on the Deadeye. Goku narrowly surviving that encounter with Thief. You know, it's terrifying stuff. It really, really is. But meanwhile, we have the blue team trying to do their thing, trying to pump. And looks like they are going to find that Chronomancer there. The red team had to split up a little bit in that situation. Blue team pounced. The revive comes through again. Glyph of Stars actually popping off right now. Getting these revives again and again and again in these fights. It's kind of interesting, right? Like, not a lot of res power on conventional supports. Like, you know, you don't really have it on the Chronomancer these days. So, you know, I'm almost not used to seeing that type of thing happen, actually. We don't really see this super often. But yeah, no Glyph of Stars this time. Druid trying to provide some counter pressure, but it's not going to be enough. There is the confirmed kill. And I think with that, we are going to see a bit of a cleanup here. Red team will be driven away from middle. We have the Deadeye and the Vindicator bullying the Warrior at the same time after picking up the kill on the support. GS Bow is going to go down. 1v2 machine is surely not going to be able to hold on for too much longer now. Tries to get off like one last burst before falling over, but I think it is game over for our red team. Good kiting and really getting some value out of all the healing, of course, on the St. Victor setup there. Look at that. You can see the evasion. You can really chain all these defenses together, but that is not going to be enough. The kills come up. Oh, look at the Glyph of Stars. Look, where are we nerfing this? It's actually busted. Glyph of Stars once again. Just absolutely pumping. Holy shit. That is wild. But does it really matter at this point? The answer to that is actually no. This one node is uncontested. The Lion is going to win the game for the blue team. Even on timer at this point, it's essentially impossible for red team to win. It is over. Well played to the blue team. We do see red team kind of going for a bit of a YOLO. Warrior going to go for the decap, but will be matched by the Vindicator and, in fact, by the Spellbreaker of the blue team as well. Pretty intense game, though, actually. Very back and forth. Red team definitely coming with a fairly unconventional approach here, actually. Unconventional strategy, unconventional comp, like having that DPS Chronomancer and, of course, the support Vindicator. But it's not going to be enough, I'm afraid. But it will be very interesting to see how this team plays as the tournament progresses, that is for sure. Buh. Alright, there you go. Ooh, yeah, that was the slowest game as well. Alright, what else have we got here? Could be a interesting match here, maybe. Could well be. Let's take a look. Esprit versus Pain waiting room. Wow, dude, Trigger's just not excited, I guess. Sakaya versus Zan. I mean, look, do you guys? I mean, look, if you guys think that match is going to be exciting, I think you're kind of coping, no? This feels like cope. Oh, actually, wait, no. Well, I mean, we'll see, I guess. We'll check out some other games afterwards, but I do think this is going to be a little bit rough for blue. I'll say that. Only, you know, it's not full Ultra Num. If this is full Ultra Num, then now you're talking. But this is, it's not even like a majority. It's only 2 out of 5 Ultra Nums. And that's just no good. It is going to be French versus French, though, isn't it, guys? It's going to be Draza versus Esprit. Worm versus Worm. Incredible. We'll see. All right, let's take a look at this game, then. We've got the Chronomancer, and of course, her voice, the Untamed Lord. Draza, Spellbreaker. Raiken, DPS Vindicator, and the Honored One, a.k.a. Pain, here on Thief. Role-playing as usual. You love to see it.
The match starts soon.
Sakaya, Spellbreaker, Con, Support Guardian, the Rotator, also on Thief. Gauntlet PMA. Look at that. This is as ArenaNet intended, guys. Full shout Reaper. You love to see that.
Hold on to your points.
Incredible. Nothing can save you, suffer, and you're a weakling. You sometimes see Spectral Walk here, I think. instead of you're all weaklings. But very short cooldown stun break here is actually super nice, I think, for sure. And of course, weakness application is very powerful. Like, it could really shut down damage like nothing else in some of these larger encounters. Okay, let's see what the blue team's got. This is going to be their test, I think. Can they make anything happen in this matchup? Red team going for a split. Blue team just going for a more conservative setup here as well. The warrior is going to have to kind of deal with being harassed a little bit.
Red team got a capture
Well, I guess
point.
actually, blue team just completely ignored close. They're just like, yeah, fuck that. We don't care about that. They fear Boyce that much. They're just not interested. Meanwhile, Gornet getting bullied a little bit here. Necromancer, of course, can be a little bit difficult to kite on this map, to be honest. You don't have as much terrain as you'd maybe like, especially without Fleshworm, right? You are going to get shut down a little bit, and you can kind of see that he's not really being able to actually get his damage off. Gets pulled back in, is getting blasted. The support from the Guardian is trying to get through. The heal skill actually lands, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Oh, the CC is going to be good, but look at the red team. There's just not enough counter pressure. Can't get to Shroud in time. Is that resable? I really do not think so whatsoever. The damage output is going to be massive, and yeah, that's a very bloody first team fight there. Donkey Kong falls there as well. The rotate to disengages Erezik running away from Boyce. But is there any escape from the Untamed? Well, yeah, looks like there is. Enough evade frames there to get all the way back to the base. But red team has been pretty much entirely shut down here. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, he is Relic of the Reaper. Insane roleplay here. Look at that. You absolutely love to see it. You get that extra chill, and of course that converts into damage. It's a Condi Reaper build. So deathly chill, and you get a little AoE chill on every single one of your Reaper. But Reaper shouts there. Very exciting. What's the Untamed build? It's a standard Untamed build, I am sure. We have... Oh, that's actually very interesting. Relic of Zakharos, actually, is being used here for even more sustain in these... kind of these 1v1 environments, right? And of course in the team fight too, right? 10% of your damage, right? In a team fight, that's going to be kind of a lot of healing if you think about that, because it's actually stronger in PvP than it is in PvE. Bear that in mind. So we have Skirmishing, Wilderness Survival, and Untamed. It's the usual stuff here for the Ranger. A classic. You absolutely love to see that. Yeah. Relic variety in PvE is decent compared to PvE. It's because you don't... It's because damage relics should not exist. You know, like in PvP, having higher DPS is not always the right play. Whereas in PvE, it basically will be. So even if some of the relics are actually quite powerful in PvE, they definitely are, by the way. It's just that you'll never use them because doing more damage is usually better than all of the cool, wonderfully designed relics that ArenaNet made. But there you have it. Enjoy. I mean, like I said, guys, look. What can I tell you? Okay? You guys were actually coping, thinking this game was going to be interesting. Do you not recognize these players? You guys trolling? Come on, this is absolute domination. Let's piss off. Look, I bet the game that I was going to watch was going to be way better. Check this out. I bet this game's fire. Here we go. Are you ready? There it is! Told you. Look at that. Within 15 points. Incredible. We love to see that. Casby being beaten down on the Mirage, falling in battle, dying. Meanwhile, we have the Spellbreaker going onto the node. Actually, desperately trying to assist their ailing comrade. Thief wriggles away. Meanwhile, the Druid is still going to be having a good time over here, blasting away. There's actually a lot of variety. You know, it's kind of interesting, actually. Like, okay, look. I'm going to be real with you guys. PvP is a lot less competitive than it used to be. Like, people aren't as try-hard. And because of that, there's actually a lot more variety in what people play, because people aren't... Look, okay, let's put it like this. People aren't trying to win nearly as much as they used to, if we're being honest. And that means that people play, like, a lot more variety. A little less meta-slavery going on here, guys. It's kind of interesting to see, isn't it? Boom! There's the stomp onto Lisa Destroys You on the Vindicator. Meanwhile, we of course have Controller in the mix here on the Reaper. Different setup, actually, with Corrupt Boon. And, of course, the Fleshworm. Very powerful ability, kind of good for getting away to some of this terrain over here as well. But red team with the side nodes, let's see what the rotations are actually going to be there. Of course, we do actually have no Thief on the side of blue team. I think it's going to be, yeah, it's a Power Mirage, right? So this is basically going to be like the Thief equivalent, essentially, for the blue team. Let's see how that's going to work out. There's already getting hard focus, and that's not a surprise. Like, Mirage, pretty damn squishy, pretty easy to shut down here. And that was, well, kind of actually well defended, actually deflected there by the blue team, able to keep that Mirage alive while kind of turning around that pressure very hard onto the red team, picking up the Vindicator almost immediately. Are they going to go for this res? Yeah, I don't think so. That's certainly not going to happen. Red team tries to run away. They're successfully doing it as well, but red team have the sides. Blue team do need to find something else. They've got to get some kind of rotation going down there. Like, where's the Druid? I feel like they need to get this Druid on one of these side nodes pretty desperately right now. And kind of doing what it does best, like getting these 1v2s, like having these outnumbered situations. Yeah, Lisa was just kind of on here on her own, and that really wasn't good. Just gets 1v2'd, immediately killed by the Thief. Like, Vindicator, of course, you know, it can actually hold its own in these 1v1s, but you certainly don't want to be 1v2, and certainly not against a Thief, that's for sure, in those situations. So Lisa just kind of dying for free over there is not what we want, especially because blue team kind of wants that damage in the team fight, kind of in these fights where they want to get these kills. Not able to get that done. Well, the Druid is going to be left to hold on to middle. This is actually fine, of course. I think the Druid should be okay to hold versus the Thief, at least for a decent chunk of time. And, of course, it was actually the Reaper killed for red. So there's actually no outnumber on the map just yet for the blue team. Blue team also repacking now. We've got the Vindicator going to go back into the Warrior there. That might be a little bit spicy. We'll see how that one actually ends up going there. But blue team now is really going to be taking this big fight there. Necromancer rotating in, and this is where the action is going to begin. Of course, we have both Necros here. Ooh, Controller getting very badly hit at the start of this fight. Losing a lot of HP almost immediately, and getting very heavily focused there. Definitely needs to get the hell out of here, that's for sure. Doing their best to hold on, get some good kiting here. I think, like, oh, the shout got interrupted there. That is not ideal whatsoever, and Controller is going to die. The support is not going to be good enough, and this fight is looking to collapse against blue team's favor. Yeah, that's absolutely the case. And yeah, the Vindicator did not make it here in time. I think maybe a bit of a greedy fight there from blue. They were outnumbered, of course. Like, the respawn, their respawn was coming from the opposite side of the map, right? Like, Lisa had to run all the way across the map, whereas their respawn just came from the base. So a little bit greedy there, and they get punished for it hard as well. And the game is still very much in parity. There's a lot to play for here, but blue team need to be very careful. We're going to see a big momentum swing, I think, in the favor of red team now, especially if we see Lisa die here. Lisa dying here will be really, really bad. And I think it's going to happen too, as of course, we're going to see this death happen right as two players come off respawn. You have that stagger effect where, again, we're not back to 5. We're in this 4v5 situation again for blue. The Druid is honestly kind of pretty based here. Not going to lie, this is a pretty good hold. But now it's going to be a 1v4, and yeah, good luck with that one. Wait, is he actually lived? Never mind. I take it all back. The respawn's arrived. This guy, I'm not gonna lie, the Druid's kind of carrying it. Like, for blue. Like, holding this node was such a big deal. Like, preventing anything else from happening is pretty based. And not dying there as well. But blue's got to win this fight now. I do like the rotation away here. I like trying to force some 1v2s on the sides here by the Druid, allowing blue team to have a favorable fight here in middle. I am a big enjoyer of that. Let's see if the Druid can make that work. I actually think the Thief rotating back into the fight is probably the play here. This 1v2 is going to be a pretty painful 1v2. I think it's going to be fairly slow, I think, to actually get that done. We also have the Vindicator rotating in as well. Maybe thinking twice about it, though. You're going to go back into the fight here, back onto this Reaper. Ooh, goes straight for the Chrono, actually. Bit of a vulnerable, squishy target there. And red team health bar's looking a little bit low. And the Thief kind of going back and forth. Dude, this Druid is, I'm not gonna lie, this Druid is actually kind of carrying it. Like, the Thief was basically... Dude, the Thief actually got out-thiefed there. Normally, it's the Thief making people run forwards and backwards between nodes. The Druid actually made that happen. Like, the Thief was running back between middle and the waterfall over and over again. Not really sure what to do. Druid actually role-playing as reverse Thief right now. We love to see that. And yeah, as you can see here, we'll now be gaining control of this node. Oh, Thief gets caught by Vindy as well. That's huge. Very nice catch by Lisa, moving in from middle. Fight on middle, fairly stable, fairly slow. And kind of made that decision to leave there, pick up the kill on the Thief. That's huge. And gets to the team fight in time. This is really good, actually. Can blue team actually make this happen, though? Thief going for the self-res to kind of... Yeah, this is actually not... By the way, what's going on there? That Thief is not going, oh, I'll be able to self-res. I think that was very much more of a, I want to delay this Vindicator from getting into the fight. And that does pay off. As you can see here, it did actually kind of end up with Controller falling there. Yeah, Reaper, hard to survive on this middle node. Not a very friendly node for Necromancers, honestly. You need that kiting potential, and you do certainly lack it here. Especially against kind of the sticky composition. Like, the red team, they're pretty sticky. Hard for the Necro to kite against this, I think. That's for sure. But yeah, Vindicator coming in hot, though, and doing some serious DPS. Meanwhile, blue team do actually have the double cap, and if this fight stays stale, they're okay with that. But it's not going to, as their Chronomancer gets picked off by the red Vindicator. Do we see a res here? No Glyph of Stars available, unfortunately, so that's not going to happen. We saw some pretty insane stuff from that in the previous matches, but yeah. Ooh, red team win that fight. Yeah, no Necromancer, right? Like, the Necromancer wasn't able to kind of stay alive for nearly as long compared to the red one in that fight, so we are going to see a bit of a collapse. But again, the Druid is kind of making it... The Druid is kind of making this work. I like this attempted res. If they got that, that would be insane. But look, we have a 1v4. Ah, there's no Signet of Stone this time, though. This is going to be really problematic for this Druid to survive, I think. Oh, we've got Protect Me coming up in a couple of seconds, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Yeah, no Signet of Stone, no Protect Me. So we are going to see the Druid finally fall. Is there any way where this can be held? The support Chrono makes it. Like, red team, they have not won the game just yet. They're going for this res. Oh, that was a very ambitious revive, that's for sure. But now we do have to have a hold here. We need to see a hold in a bit of a 1v2. I don't like this from Lisa. I think we got to go middle and help here, especially because the Thief is also going to be decapping them out. I feel like blue team kind of needs to win this fight here on middle. I guess they're kind of making that happen, actually, right now. Can they do it, though? The Reaper is very, very low here, actually. Yes. Oh, the Mirage lands the burst. That's huge. Okay, never mind. Don't need the Vindicator. But yeah, again, like the Vindicator into the Spellbreak, I'm just not sure if that's really going to work out super hot, and it really isn't. Now with the Druid, maybe there is some potential to make that happen. Blue team, I think they're actually a little bit out of time right now. The Thief... just being so annoying, right, in these, you know, in the kind of the end game, Thief is so powerful. Like, being able to decap and get these nodes is just so good. Very interesting match, though, actually. We're going to see blue team fall here. And red team managed to scrape through it after a very back and forth game kind of in the middle there as well. That's how it is. But yeah, the Drew is kind of popping off there, not going to lie. That's for sure. Very high value. Yeah, very high value. There you have it. What a game. What a match. Let's see if there's anything else going on. Oh, well, I mean, technically yes, but not really.
Blue team grabbed a
That
capture
is
point.
the end of that. Boom. Was that the last game? Ooh, there's still one going. This one. No? Oh, no, that was the last game. Ah, okay. Artificial versus Zanananan. That's going to be an interesting one. We can definitely take a look at that. We're still not seeing Esprit versus Draza. Who is the most powerful French player in Guild Wars 2? Actually, look. Chat, what do we guys think? Most powerful French player in Guild Wars 2? What are you thinking? It's a good question. It's a good question. Right, let's get into this game, I think. The bathroom, it is warm. It's too hot. Can't wear it. It's no good. Let me in the game. Let's go. Draza, because he's also Draza. That is true, actually. Draza is particularly impressive because actually he plays 2 accounts at the same time. I think this game could potentially be interesting. I think these teams could be interesting. I want to say red team is relatively favored, actually. Man, I feel like you could make such a beast team, you know, like, there's a lot of good players playing in this tournament, but they're all on different teams, right? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Fly and Gauntlet, at the end of the day, you know, no bullshit. These guys played on Ultranum, right? They are some of the best players in the history of the game when it comes to PvP, but we need the full Ultranum roster back. We've got to bring Floody back, guys. You know, Bleach Boys leader, okay? We've got to get him back in here. Misha versus Draza. Yeah, I think that's going to be the stuff to have a look at here, isn't it? Dismantle Cleave. Okay. Ah, and Temple of the Silent Storm as well. Oh, yeah, Xeon as well. Like, Xeon is an incredible player, actually. Like, you see Xeon pop up all the time. I think we've got to get some teams going again. That's why I've got to announce my tournament, right? So I can make people actually put some fucking effort in. But on the red team, we have Grim. We have Boyce. It's not actually Grim. It's Helio. We have Boyce here on Untamed. Behold, the Zakharos Relic. Draza on the Warrior. Spellbreaker. Riken. Vindicator. The Honored One. Pain versus Cinder. That's going to be content. On the blue team, we have King Dongo Bongo. Vindicator. Zintrek, Spellbreaker, One Dodge Man, also known as Misha, also known as the Master of Disaster. Syndrome here on Dismantle Cleave on the Deadeye. Here we go. He's blasting. He's gaming. Ah, Relic of the Unseen Invasion. Yeah, like the stealth. When you you get super speed and you give yourself stealth. And nearby allies too, of course. Deadeye doing a lot of that, of course, with that elite skill. And, of course, all the usual thief shenanigans as well. And we have Demolish here in the Holo, repping the short bow. Short bow Holosmith, guys. Who'd have seen that? Who'd have seen that one coming? All right, then. Here we go. See what happens. So we actually have a bit of... scary push here, actually, at the start of Demolish. This is not going to be comfy. He's got to run. Are we going to see the disengage? Misha is actually able to get here in time. Drops down the portal just in case. Doesn't need it. Gets supported quite nicely. There we have it. Meanwhile, we have the Vindicator from blue team pushing in. Gets driven away, though. Chronomancer now moving towards middle. Bit of a, a bit of a wild start here. Zintrek's actually in a little bit of trouble there. Nearly does get pumped, actually, there by the Honored One and Draza. So first blood going to the red team here. On the other side here as well. We also, the Holo just going to struggle in this 1v1. This is a little bit of a weird, definitely a bit of a tricky composition here, because what's going to be happening here, you of course have Draza very much capable of 1v1ing here on the Spellbreaker, but also the Untamed. That is going to make the rotations a little bit complex, I think, to deal with here for blue team. They don't really have that level of 1v1, because of course what's happening here is the Holo is being very much forced to fight into the Untamed, and that is really not what the Holosmith wants whatsoever, in my opinion. That is not desirable here. It's a little bit tough. Syndrome kind of looking for something to get done, but it's easier said than done when a lot of the team is kind of dying now. And yeah, King Dongo Bongo also not really able to connect here on the temple as well, not able to get anything done. And red team, I'm not gonna lie, red team is kind of dominating right now. Of course, there is, it's a little early in the game to call it, but this is what domination looks like early on in Conquest. Like, this is a very bad spot. It's going to get worse, too, as well. We're going to see this triple cap. Misha actually gets taken out there. Looks like we might be seeing a death here as well from the Holosmith here on blue team, too. Big DPS now coming through from Reich and alongside the Chronomons are trying to get that lockdown. They find that kill, and yeah, this is going to go from bad to worse now, because now we have this situation where Boyce is going to be locked in on this node here on the altar, and blue, they're going to have to respawn. They're going to have to try and push across the map. But that is, I mean, how do we even do that, actually? We already have it locked down. The warrior from red team is in position to intercept. Boyce is waiting here. There's no real answer to Boyce. There's no answer to Boyce, guys, at all, in this match, really. Like, what are we going to do? We're going to push Demolish into it again? I don't think that really works. It's not going to happen, right? We now have no Vindicator for another 15 seconds as well. And this is, this is brutal. You know, it really is. You hate to see it. But red team is, they are quite strong. And blue team, they're completely screwed. That's how it is. I don't think this even gets easier. I think it actually gets worse. That's interesting. Like, you might think, oh yeah, the buffs might come up and change things, because they often do. You know, on Temple, like, things can really, really flip on their head when you have those extra objectives up. But I think it's actually worse for the blue team when that happens, because they don't have that second duelist style character in the same way that the red team do with the Untamed and, of course, the Spellbreaker. Like, I think red team is going to have a much easier time actually dealing with multiple objectives than the blue team is. And you can see they're just not able to win fights, right? They just can't win fights. They aren't able to get these encounters that they're looking for. They're really struggling, and well, I think it's actually, look at another game time. This one is over. Oh, well, this one is also not looking good. Red team absolutely crushing it right now. I mean, it's a good round to be on the red team, I guess. Absolute domination. Let's see. Is there... Oh, but we actually might go and look at this game. This game actually looks like it's close. Actually, there's a close game here as well, maybe? Oh, yeah, it could be an interesting one.
Stillness has appeared.
Let's see how this game progresses a little bit. Red team actually just got a bit of a wipe. Which is good for them, that's for sure. A little behind on nodes, but getting that team wipe there. Able to pick up the top buff, too. Ooh, they're going to get some serious points there. We have Slew Guy holding 1v2 in the same way that he 1v9'd in the last match. 1v50 even. Some world versus world montage shit. Holding on. Gets supported, though, by the Chronomancer, so... nothing doing over here. And, of course, we have the quadruple cap right now, as we have the red Vindicator pick up the kill on the Holosmith. Able to defend the altar quite satisfactorily there, I think. Reaper also moves in. That's going to really seal the deal here on this particular fight. Not much going on. Oh, Scepter actually being played here. Maybe preparing for the next patch when it corrupts 2 conditions as opposed to just the 1. Of course, Pistol, very dominant actually in Necromancer PvP right now. You kind of go with basically all of the OP weapons. You stack up your Pistol and your Torch. What a great duo for PvP, but who knows, maybe Scepter going to bust back onto the scene. I think one thing that's kind of interesting about this Reaper build is that I think it's surprisingly decent at just kind of breaking through these... well, it's kind of... It's like remarkably okay at handling 1v1s too, actually. It's quite... so it's relatively unusual for Necromancer builds. They're usually pretty bad in a lot of these 1v1s, but Reaper can definitely hold its own quite well, especially if it's kind of like a more durable, like a Duelist is going up against. It's very good at kind of like melting stuff like that, I think. Yeah, the red team is too strong. Needs to get nerfed. Yeah, it looks like something weird must have happened in the early game. Like, yeah, it looks like... I'm not sure what happened there and why they just suddenly completely dominated, because now this is not looking good for blue whatsoever. Like, blue is looking spectacularly dead, in fact, in this matchup. But yeah, something must have gone slightly wrong for red in the early game. Didn't really quite go their way for whatever reason. And they're maybe trying to turn it around, like blue going for this kill. They get the Vindicator, and very, very low, actually, on all of the players here for red, except for the Thief. They got to run away from this one. Big team fight victory for the blue team, but... yeah, I'm not sure it's really going to be enough. Decent disengage too as well, like red team. I think they might lose the Necro here as well. Yeah, a little bit too slow. No swiftness there, so couldn't actually disengage properly. Another kill is secured there for blue, which is pretty decent. But yeah, this game not overly exciting, I think. I'm not feeling massively drawn in. What about this matchup? Yeah, well, I think we already looked at this one. Oh, I mean, let's see. Blue team comeback. They just got upper buff, actually. Oh, if Cranel kills Fly, that's massive. Let's see. Fly gets the heal. The Rotator. Nice no-scope by Cranel, actually, to be fair. Con comes to the spot. Oh, what a party pooper. It's going to be an epic Thief 1v1. What's this? Support's illegal. That's cheating. I mean, it's 100 points. Again, this is a very important 1v1. If Cranel can somehow find this... I think it is quite difficult for Thieves to actually die here, though. That's kind of the issue, I feel like. What I mean by that is that they're not fighting over a point, right? So you can just disengage with Shadow Arts, and I mean, you're not really gonna... You're not gonna die, are you? Although, no, actually, you don't even play Shadow Arts anymore, but, you know, you can sort of just run away. It's crit strikes, double Dagger Storm from both of these games. Ooh, Cranel finds it, actually! Defeats the Rotator in the 1v1, forces the res, no steal, unfortunately. Ooh, had poison up, denies it. Oh, this is fucking lame! Are you guys serious? It did actually draw the support away from middle, though, actually, and that does give blue team a little bit of juice. A little bit of juice. Gorna gets taken out as well. Of course, the support had to leave, and that kind of left the Necromancer a bit exposed in this situation. Good revival there, of course, there by Con, able to kind of save the day and restabilize. But blue team, now they've got something going on here. Like, the comeback is starting to happen. They want to buck the trend of red team winning. We actually have the Ranger versus the Warrior in the 1v1 here. Looks like the Untamed doing a good job of holding on so far. Should be able to get that capture relatively soon. Dude, the new... oh, yo! The Chak pet is being used. A massive burst, though, was landed onto the Ranger. Have fun with that one. Gets pulled back in. Does have the elite skill available, but actually was interrupted. Oh, this is scary, actually, for the Ranger. Needs to hold on. Gets interrupted again on the elite. Can't get it off. Desperately holding on with barrier. Is it enough? It is not going to be enough, actually. Sakaya finding that kill is massive, landing a huge CC combo burst. That's a big kill. That's kind of the lifeline for red team, actually, because red team are really falling behind here. Xeon goes down. Here comes the revive from red team. It is going to land, but we actually have Ginger going down as well. So no revival available for this player. So blue team, can they make something happen here? No, they absolutely can't. They've got to kite this or try and play safe or at least die with some grace, I think, is going to be their plan. But 9 bleeds. Gorna doing so much condition damage onto the Guardian. It was too many combies to handle. And that is going to be the end of that. Arazik kind of left around to clean up the mess and capture that node. And red team... They want to deny the comeback. They're here to deny blue team getting back into this. 3 deaths all at the same time being secured. Bottom buff is still in play. Maybe Cranel can do some like really crazy shit. But again, we have this Thief 1v1 going on there. And he won it before. Maybe he can win it again. Let's see if Cranel can defeat the Rotator. Let's see if that can happen. If he can, again, that will be a huge win. Securing this bottom buff would certainly get red team back into it, or blue team back into it, rather. But he hasn't got long now, because now red team got a triple cap. They got triple kills, triple cap from that situation. So he's got to move fast. And Gornet, he doesn't trust. He doesn't believe. He's like, I'll help you with the Thief. Cranel's too powerful. And yeah, now they're going to try and get rid of him here. Oh, yeah, that's really, really gnarly as well. The Collie's going through from Gornet. And I think we are going to see a death here onto Cranel. Yeah, Ginger arrives. It's a little bit too late, unfortunately. We'll be able to keep holding on. But actually, I'm not sure if it's going to be super comfortable against this Necromancer, if I'm being honest here. It's not going to be ideal, especially with the Rotator in the mix. And I think we are going to see a red team victory. Red team victory. In fact, we see the Catalyst falling alongside Cranel. Xeon is kind of forced to rotate in here as well, just to keep holding this. They're essentially just feeding kills into the bottom buff at this point. We might even see, we could even see like the Rotator leave, but those are just going to go for the kill. They should be able to get this relatively quickly. It will be a little slow. Necromancer's pretty tanky. It's got that health pool, but as you can see, no decent, super decent kiting spots here for Xeon to kind of get away to. And yeah, the bleeding is stacking. Look at all the chill. This is absolutely brutal. Absolute brutality at the end of the game. The Rotator finds the kill, gets it done. Support moves in, but it is way too late for that. Massive CC coming through. They know it's over. GG is called, and the game ends. It's over. Boom. Well, there you have it. Game over. Wow, this is an incredibly close game. Wait, no, it wasn't. I lied. It looked. I think I misread. I thought it was like it was like 500 to 480, but it wasn't. Insane. Ah, the red team. We saw this. They're trying to, trying their best. Slightly different strategy. This is the problem with people not being as try-hard as possible. The game becomes... The game almost becomes, like, weirdly rock, paper, scissory. I am very skeptical of blue team's comp working into Draza's team. I am very skeptical of that. Like, double Necro? I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens, but it's not going to be easy for them to make that work. Let's take a look. What's next? Do we finally have the matchup that we actually want to see? The ultimate matchup. We actually do. Here you go, guys. You've been waiting for it. It's Tak versus Zand. Here we go. It's going to be Draza versus Esprit. French versus French gaming. Prepare yourselves. Are you ready? Are you ready, chat? What could be essentially the finals? I mean, you better be ready. About that. You're not ready? Well, I guess we just won't show it then. Fair enough. Let me in. When are we getting more high energy music for PvP, by the way? Do you hear this, Trig? It's miserable, mate. All the music in the PvP lobby and often in PvP, it's just sad. It's ominous. It's not good. We need some more upbeat tunes for our PvP in World vs. World. Ah, Forest of Niflhel. That is actually really what we like to see. Very exciting. Oh yeah, woo yeah. Okay then. Let's see what we got. On the red team, it's going to be Esprit, aka Tak Necro. Or Necromancer. Reaper, in fact. Chaotic Knight of Doom, aka C-Cod, NA. NA. On Harbinger, Relic of the Herald, actually, for extra boon duration, interestingly enough, with Rune of the Traveler and the Rabbit Amulet. Very similar to the Reaper build, except it's not Reaper, it's Harbinger. Death Magic, Curses, and Harbinger. We have Requiem of Resilience, Role Player, Wolf Spider. Here on the Untamed, Maya, Spectre. It's an interesting character appearance for the Spectre there, I think. And then, of course, we have Enigma on the Chronomancer. Support Chronomancer. Ready to go. Here's the best map for PvP on the blue team. We have Grim, aka Helio, on support Chronomancer. We have Boyce, Tekken Enjoyer, Ranger Fan. Here with the pets. Ready to go. Draza on Spellbreaker. So we're going to go for a crosshair already, yeah. Not surprised, they're very popular on this map. I mean, if you're not doing it, you're kind of trolling. To be honest, if you don't play 3 nodes, something's probably gone wrong there. But anyway, Raikon on Vindicator. And the Honored One, Pain, breaking out the Deadeye for this one. Mixing it up a little bit, going for close while the rest of the team is crossing the map. Look, oh, they actually managed to catch each other. There we go. And red team almost getting a little bit of the initiative. Blue team having to kind of continue to push through. Getting towards the other side of the map. They want to contest this node. Are they able to make it? They absolutely are. Wolf Spider, it's kind of pulling off a little bit. Oh, actually, no, wants to go for the cap. Doesn't quite get it, though. Boyce able to get into the mix just barely in time. And, yeah, red team with a slight bit of momentum here, as, of course, they didn't go for middle whatsoever. And now Draza will now move across, and we'll have to deal with the Necromancer moving into play. But, yeah, again, I think a good opener for blue. You know, they've really got their plan, and they're sticking to it, and it's working. Oh, that big tornado. Enter to the heel. Draws a dice here, I think, actually. Oh, no, the Chronomancer just barely arrives in time to actually get that heal, get that support. There's the heal skill. Now full counter is available. And Rampage, too, if that is necessary. Draza getting focused very, very hard, though. Look at all those condis. I am not a condition, but Draza certainly is. The double Necro demolishes the warrior. Meanwhile, Boyce going for this decap over here. The Honored One here to snipe on the Deadeye. Ready to pump. Ready to blast. Let's see how this one goes. Good kiting there as well. That kite's what is kind of annoying, to be honest. Actually, the conditions. Guys, the conditions. They are here. Boyce dies. Boyce dead. It's over. It's actually game over. There are too many conditions. What can blue team do? Well, they're going to have to win this fight, that's for sure. And now red, they're moving in on the action. They're prepared. Draza is back in the mix. Boyce is going to be out for all the... Oh, the Deadeye. Look, the sneaky Deadeye manages to just barely slide past, but does get caught in the act there, actually. And Chronomancer here, actually, getting nuked. The double Necro's too much. Blue team collapses in the team fight. Oh, the stealth res. Oh, that's so disgusting. Ah! The stealth res comes around the crowbar. Actually, is it going to be just another immediate death? We do see the technology. There's a lot of condis on the red team. That's why we see the Mantra of Resolve being the pick here for the blue Chronomancer. But is it going to be enough? Look how many conditions are coming through there. It's a condi meta, guys. Because they keep ticking. Like, well, after you hit someone, they will keep ticking the entire time. There's nothing left for Helio right now. He will end up falling there. Red team demolishing these fights so far. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Just like that.
Draza gets caught as well. And at this point, I mean, blue kind of feeding, but the problem is that red is zerging a lot right now. That's kind of the issue. A lot of zerging going on, and that is allowing blue to pick up these nodes. Boyce even finds a beast here as well. So I think we do need to see a little bit more rotational play coming out of red. They're winning these fights, but that's not enough to win Conquest. Raikon lands a massive burst there as well here onto the Ranger of Red. Tac Necro now in play. Activates, starts pumping. Of course, we'll get kind of stopped short there by the Chronomancer. Here we go. And here comes the big DPS. Oh, big stun there from Tac Necro. Forces the distort usage there out of the Chronomancer. Gets stunned again. That's an instant kill. That was like, it felt like Giga greedy, but I think it kind of turned into basically suicide at the end there. I think Chronomancer was aware there was absolutely no way out of that situation, that's for sure. And red team, they're starting to get a little bit something done here. They're still behind in this match. They have got to get some nodes here. And this is one of the things that I was worried about. I was a bit worried about this. in the comp, right? Like, having the Spellbreaker and the Untamed is super annoying to deal with. Very nice revival here, actually. Can they get that? Oh, yes, they can. They take a lot of damage. The Spectre nearly gets taken out. Able to teleport away, though, and has Shroud available to keep tanking there as well. Meanwhile, the Honored One has been repelled away from that. Red team going for a beast over there, kind of matching the one that blue team got as well. Oh, but red team, that Harbinger goes down as well. The pressure is still being kept up here as well. Goes for the stomp, but actually denies it. Realizes they don't need to go for that. Wants to go for more kills. Wants to clean up more of these players. And red desperately trying to disengage here. Losing the Chronomancer as well. Oh, and finally we see blue team win a fight. And that is a pretty devastating fight there as well. Picking up not 1, but 2, but 3 kills in this. Planting down the Spellbreaker here on middle. Boyce, of course, looking to get in on the action over here as well. While the Deadeye goes for the decap as well. And that was a absolutely brutal moment here for red.
Blue team takes a capture point.
It really, really is. That's well played there by blue, actually. And now let's see if they can maintain that momentum. Red, of course, are not out of this. This is definitely a game that has some potential. It really does. Attack Necro back in play. Also known as a Spree. Also known as the Big Worm. Worm's leader, of course. Moving into the mix. Capping the node. I'm going to... Look, let's watch this POV, guys. Meanwhile, of course, we do actually have blue team pick up another kill, and... Yeah, this is where red, they're in a bit of trouble here. They need to restabilize. They've started to maybe lose their way. Like, what they were doing was kind of working. They didn't quite have the rotation to keep up with their opponents. But they had something going. Oh, that will be a... This will be a really gnarly res, but I don't think it's going to happen here. The CC from Boyce is going to be way too much to get that done. In fact, Maya actually gets caught, has to die as a result of that too. And red, they're starting to get a bit of a repush now. They're back from spawn. They're repushing into the mix. They absolutely are. The Honored One gets that decap. That is annoying. That is a tilt right there. That is a tilt moment, guys. You absolutely love to see it if you are the blue team. I'm not gonna lie. Very annoying. Here we go. Let's see how that's gonna go here for the red team. Big DPS coming through onto the Harbinger. Gets a good kite though. Actually, this is really nice. Very good kiting positions here for a Necromancer, but Deadeye, you're not safe from that, that's for sure. Can they now turn this fight though? Riken in trouble. The Condi's ticking on him. He tries to wriggle away. The support from the Chronomancer is good. But now they get split up here. So are we going to see a death? I think maybe not, actually. There might be some disengage potential here as well. Yeah, using the mobility skills there in Legendary Alliance combined with that Shiro Leap should be enough to get away from this. Some good disengages here from blue. They do actually end up losing their Deadeye, which is a little bit annoying, but they can just play passively. And yeah, look at this. The problem is that red is just not rotating well enough here, to be honest. If we're being real, it's not... That's what's going on here. This should not be happening, right? Like, Boyce just walks onto the node, gets the full cap. It's not being contested. Red is just zerging around like, yeah, sure, they can win these fights. They're winning these, 4v4s. And, of course, they're outnumbering a lot of the time, right? They're able to, get kills in 4v3s and 3v2s and so on. But the problem is they're not rotating here. And they're getting punished for it. Because now we have to see this decap come through. The Necromancer has to get through the Untamed all the way, and that's going to be very much easier said than done. We have the repush coming back through here onto the altar as well. Or the Henge, sorry. Wrong map. Draza doesn't end up dying, but I'm not sure if it really matters that much. Like, red team, they're not going to get that much, especially with this decap coming through. This is going to get neutralized here as well. Yeah, I mean, this is problematic. Like, red is just... They're just too slow, right? They're too slow. They aren't able to keep up.
Red team got a capture point.
I'm afraid. I think this would be... If this was on a map like Skyhammer, maybe it looks a little bit different. But especially on a map like this, where you really want to be rotating to and fro all over the map constantly, it is almost like a triangle node setup, right? They just can't keep up, right? They are simply too slow. They can do these team fights. The double Necro is obviously going to dominate the fights, right? Having that Necromancer, that's so much condition pressure, so much AoE. But the problem is that's not what Conquest is, right? Conquest is a little bit more than that. You have to be in the right place at the right time, and I just don't think that red team is capable of doing that, to be honest. It is what it is. Blue team have outmaneuvered their opponents. And they've got themselves into an incredibly good position here in this matchup. And you can't win against the... that is true. The Honored One is hard carrying here. Pain, one of the most powerful role players in the entire game. dominating here on the Deadeye. Oh, it's so disgusting. Deadeye with Shadow Portal. This is so hard to deal with, honestly. It really is really hard to actually deal with the amount of mobility that this build can bring to the table. And of course, it has very high damage contribution in these fights as well. Look at that. Boom. Already rotated over there. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Wolf Spider. Oh, dude. Yeah, that dodge is annoying. Doesn't quite get it, unfortunately. Went for the Giga Kite, but will in fact end up being dead over here. A little bit unfortunate. And even though the points are close, this game doesn't feel close to me. Actually. Doesn't feel that close to me. This is a fairly strong performance, I think. Just the points were a little bit scrappy. Because, of course, some of those fights just not working out super well for the blue team here. And again, Boyce crosses over. There's no answer to this. This is probably going to end up being a full cap, actually, here on the mine. No push coming through onto the henge either. Draza is defending it quite nicely. They have the Necromancer and the support coming over, but I'm not really sure that really matters that much. Oh, never mind. That CC was beautiful. Oh, into the mower as well, actually. From the Chronomancer. Interesting pick there. Usually see Time Warp there, but it's going to be the mower to kind of lock down that target. We do see that kill, which is pretty good. You know, Reaper really can kill stuff pretty damn quickly, actually. But again, it's a bit of a slow, painful death here, if I'm being real here. The Honored One and Boyce holding on. Chronomancer arrives as well. Cleansing the Condis. Holding onto the node. They do need to be a little bit careful not to leave the node. They don't want to give this up. They want to have that point gain still going, to be honest.
Red team wins a capture point.
And that's exactly what they do. Time Warp's actually available soon. We might see a Time Warp Continuum shift to kind of get the pressure. Yep, there we go. Keep the pressure off Boyce. And that's exactly what it does. Even goes for the double, actually. Really bringing the pain there. Of course, this actually doesn't apply chill anymore. Only slow, but still super annoying. Really shuts down the aggression from your opponents. And, of course, gives your allies super speed and quickness, which is just fantastic for kiting and surviving. All that kind of wonderful stuff. And, yeah, they're rock solid here, at least for the time being. Did actually get decapped, though, actually. Unlucky. So, red team maybe going to make something happen. But when the game gets this late, this is where Thief really becomes annoying, because you can just keep resetting. You can keep decapping and then just rotating away, slowing the game down, allowing your team just to find that opportunity that gives them the win. That's exactly what Pain's doing right now. Looks for this kill. Necromancer isolated. No support available. Just the other Necromancer in this case. The Elite Elixir did land, and that's some pretty serious DPS, actually, but it's not going to be enough to actually get the recovery here. I am afraid Tac Necro will be eliminated. The Honored One wants now to hunt down this Harbinger, and is going for it too. Harbinger, yeah, it's going to be a little bit rough to deal with, I think, for the Harbinger. Deadeye, a bit of a natural predator for Necromancers. Draws now in the mix. Fight actually doesn't go the way of the blue team. They actually end up losing this fight, which is kind of interesting, actually. We actually see them being driven away a little bit, but Boyce is still going to be here to contest. And again, look how painfully slow this is. The points have kind of flatlined for both teams here a little bit, but that's kind of the point. Like, that's not good enough for red team. Holding neutrality is not going to cut it. They need to be making plays, and they need to be making plays yesterday too. Boyce actually in a little bit of trouble here in the 1v1, is driven away there by Requiem of Resilience. Got blasted a little bit there by the Untamed. Now going to think about re-engaging. Has the elite skill coming up in a couple of moments. And that will make him pretty secure, pretty safe. Dude, we've got like the fucking Electro Deer being used here as well. This is, you know, the new pets, guys. The new pets are coming into play here, actually, for these Ranger players. Love to see that. Middle, though, captured for blue, and that's kind of the problem here. There's no contest there just yet. The Thieves are having a bit of a 1v1 over here. And it's actually very gnarly for the Deadeye, actually. Yeah, you can see the Condi is not really easy to deal with for the Deadeye, and the CC landed too rare. That was the Gravity Well, I believe, coming through there from the Thief. So Maya does manage to kill the Honored One, and that's honestly almost impossible, but actually the res from Riker has come through. Oh, no. Winning the Thief 1v1 only to be denied by the F key. You honestly hate to see that. Don't let the guy who hates downstate see that. He'd get really fucking mad. Boyce continuing this 1v1, actually. Have his Tekken skills paid off here. Will he be able to defeat the Wolf Spider? It was pretty even, actually, if anything. Wolf Spider doing a very good job, actually, in this 1v1. Or at least trading blow for blow. At the absolute worst case scenario here. Oh, Wolf Spider maybe smelling some blood here, actually. Wants to go in for a bit of a lunge. Maya goes down here as well. But again, blue, they've got it. They get 5 points. Oh, yeah. Kind of a weird game. I really felt that blue team was in control there. Red has some potential. Like, Red were winning fights. They definitely had some potential there. But in some ways, it really didn't feel that close. And that sounds kind of crazy, but I really felt that blue team is kind of in the driving seat pretty much the entire time. They had a couple of wobbles, like this kind of cluster of kills here and this cluster of kills here in the mid game, but I really feel that rotationally, blue team was really on point there. And just played pretty damn solid. I think red team can win, and especially if it's a different map and there's, you know, they're able to kind of figure out some rotations and come up with some solutions to these problems. But that felt kind of rough, honestly. That felt pretty rough. If I'm being real there. Well, I think that's the end of the Swiss. We're going on to elimination. And, well, first round, I think, wait, is this one going to be interesting? Like Artificial versus Popo or whatever? Or Popo? Who knows? I think that might be the game to actually look at. Of course, we have Slogai. Okay, or Slugai. Legendary gamer. Juicer. 1v9er. Let's see what's going on. Tak Nana. Yeah. Sneb is telling me to look up Haboob on Urban Dictionary. Okay. Interesting. This could be a pretty interesting game, I think. Because we're on elimination rounds now.
The match starts.
Bro was really close? No, I don't think so, actually. Like, games that have close points aren't necessarily close. Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Let's game. Wait, Tak Nana? What is this Nana team? What is this team, actually? Is this really going to be... No, they already crushed this team. No, that's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Let's look at this one. Let's go. All right. Let's see what's going on. I think this game could be... I think it could be competitive. Oh, wait. What? Cranel has given up on Thief and has gone to Willbender on the absolute most godlike Thief map in the game. That is sus, if you ask me. But let's see. Can the Willbender magic make it happen? Well, you know what? He's just having a good time right now, chasing down the Chronomancer. Not able to quite get the kill connected, though, unfortunately. Is the blue team. And here we go. Blue kind of doing their thing. Zintrax being positioned here on the Dragon.
Blue team grabbed a capture point.
Untamed. Trying to find something here on the Deadeye. Deadeye just teleporting around as they do. I think we actually had a kill onto Xeon, but the revive did come through over here. And yeah, Blue, again, they got the opener here. Right? And I think this really is... It is so interesting, actually. It's a really big thing. Like, you can really tell who's played Conquest for a very long time. Like, and a lot of the players on Blue, they're very, very... I mean, obviously, in the case of Misha and Sin, very old school. But, you know, even the other faces who are not necessarily Pro League players, but, you know, modern players who play a lot. Again... Noramel and Zintrax and Demolish here, you know, they understand Conquest, right? And they just have a bit more of an understanding of, like, how to approach these matches from the rotational standpoint. I think that's what Red Team's really lacking here, right? I have no doubt they could honestly do some good fights, right? And they'd be able to compete in these 5v5s and 4v4s, but they're just not able to control the map in the way that Blue Team is. And not gonna lie, they're pretty dead at this point. You honestly hate to see it. But that's how it goes. Unfortunate.
Blue team grabbed a capture point.
And yeah, red team. Just kind of going through the motions here. Controlling the map. Rev getting in the mixer. Untamed actually hiding behind the bush there. Terrified of the Vindicator. Not unsurprising. You know, Vindicator is pretty scary, I suppose, in these situations. And yeah, here's the triple cap. And, well, I mean, this is a bit of a dominating game here, I think. Is there any... Okay, maybe this game? I think this game could be pretty interesting. Let's see what we got here. Sakaya. Sakaya... versus Slugai. Warrior enthusiast. Gamer. Scythe wielder. Weapon stove fan. But anyway, let's get into the game. We have Arazik, the Breaker, DPSing here, alongside the Rotator. No nodes capped so far, but the Warrior AAAE is about to change that. Of course, is Sakaya, by the way, in case you got a little bit confused. Well, we've got the team fight starting to brew here on middle. Support guard gets into the mix, supporting Gauntlet. Gauntlet ready to unleash. Does get caught in the time warp, though, kind of annoying. Having quickness on Reaper is fun. Having slow, a little bit less so. Support is good, though, here from Con. Trying to turn it around onto the red Necromancer, especially with the Warrior now moving in. They get some done there. Ooh, red Vindicator gets caught as well. First blood going towards the blue team here. Very nice indeed. Meanwhile, Warrior does manage to get that cap, and red has middle as well, so blue still has something to fight for here. But again, with the outnumber now, they should be able to continue to secure additional kills or at least control the map. Necromancer not looking super healthy there. Look at all those condis. That is not what you like to see if you're, well, if you see that condi bar, it's probably looking bad. Absolutely is. But actually, we do have a counter kill coming through, I believe. Or no, there's actually a revive attempt. Is the Stomp going to come through? It absolutely is. Nice res attempt there, actually, by the Chronomancer. Not quite going to be good enough, though, unfortunately. Now, blue, what's the next move? They want to get this Vindicator down again, I think. And, well, they actually might do that. 4 bleeds. Kind of putting in the work there from Gauntlet. And the Vindicator can really engage just yet. A little bit too low HP. And yeah, a lot of damage coming through. Is there any support available here? That looks like there actually is going to be from the Chronomancer. Actually, the Chrono's a little bit dry on cooldowns very, very soon, actually. So it's going to be very uncomfortable here for the red team. Has a charge of the Mantra left over, but is it going to be enough? The answer is no, it's not. It's not going to be good enough. Go for, wait, the Revive trade. That's a pretty interesting decision here, actually. So no Restorative Mantras being picked up here. In fact, actually, for this particular Chronomancer. Interesting. And the Chronomancer also dies.
Red team wins a capture point.
Still all to play for, though. A slow start to the game. Arazik looking like he might get picked off as well. The healing is good. Slew guy in the mix. Lots of fans in the chat. Lots of people hyped up, actually. Draza losing? Wait, really? Wait, I feel like I'm getting actually hyper baited here. There's absolutely no shot. Yeah, nice try. Okay, like that's the yeah. I mean, I shouldn't even clicked on that.
Blue team grabbed a
anyway, we're back in the game. We're back in the action. We're ready to go. We're ready to pump. Blue team staging their offensive. They got the sword buff. Very nice. Gauntlet's ready to blast now with that sword buff. Big DPS. Gauntlet now getting heavily focused. Getting cyber-bullied by the entire red team. Not a comfortable... But that's what you got to do. If you play a Necro, you got to accept it. And now, turn it around with a brutal counter-attack directly onto the enemy Necro. You just got to take it out on the other Necro, right? That's a Guild Wars 2 classic right there. Necromancer from red team about to fall, I think. Vindicator not looking super healthy either, actually, for red. Or the Thief. So red health bars not looking good whatsoever. I think we're going to see a confirmed kill there, at least another one. And yeah, I think this red team struggling in these fights a lot. Like, sometimes it is rotation, and you definitely see a little bit of that here from blue team. They are handling themselves on the map pretty well, but I think both teams are kind of just holding W, honestly. This is a very hold W game, you know? It absolutely is. And blue team just kind of coming out a little bit ahead there, I think, in terms of the can we kill the other guy angle. It's pretty important stuff. Gauntlet looking for a kill on the Chrono. Chrono able to teleport away pretty easily. Oh, gets stuck on these crates. Classic. And Vindicator, no support there. Support to disengage. Sword buff's going to get the kill. The sword buff is so powerful, actually. It's really hard to deal with, right? Like, when you've lost buffs, especially if you lose both buffs, on this map, it's very difficult to engage your opponents until those have gone away, which, as you can imagine, is quite inconvenient. But yeah, having that sword buff is so nice. Like, just being able to punch through, having that guaranteed finish from the sword buff, but also just the extra damage you get. 20% more damage is just incredibly significant. It really is. And you can see that manifest here as well, as blue team able to surge forwards, but they do need to actually get some map control here as well. Like, both teams, they may be a little bit sloppy on actually controlling these nodes. Slew guy's dead. It's fucking over. Honestly, surrender. That's how it is. It's completely over.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture point.
Anyway, 190 points now for blue. They're slowly winning. They're slowly winning these fights. It's a weirdly uneventful game. I'm struggling here with the commentary, guys. It's very much, well, you know, blue team is kind of winning the fights, and they're very slowly winning the game. Exciting. Look at this. The Reaper, under pressure, gets pulled off. Arazik pounces, unleashes his Revenant Fury, and secures the kill. Gauntlet in there with the cleave, pumping. Gets the ice field down. That's great for cleaving down. Right? The pulsing chill field, big damage right there. Very big stuff. Big AoE DPS. Chronomancer falls. Arazik annihilating the enemy Renegade. Renegade? This is not French Worms meta. Vindicator. I think there's no other game going on, right? I mean, yeah, we have like, then we have the French game coming up, but I think this match is pretty straightforward, I think. Oh, actually, it's actually not completely straightforward. It's relatively straightforward, but not entirely. Blue team up ahead against this one versus Goku Zealith. 1v2 machine. Skitto. And Nana. Druid. Not able to make it happen, I think. Nearly 200 points behind. Goku in a little bit of trouble here as well. Requiem of Resilience on the hunt. They're on Untamed, unleashing. Zealith coming in for the support. Should be able to restabilize the warrior fairly well, I think. Gets the job done. Ooh, lands a big arcing slice. They're nearly taking out Tac Necro. But again, we're in this really weird situation. It's over 400 points. Double cap in favor of blue. And, of course, all members of blue team alive. Very hard to come back from this point unless there's some kind of absolutely cataclysmic throw. Blue team know it. They're not taking any risks. Not wanting to push into that fight too much. Just want to take their time, biding their time. And kind of chill. Just relaxing. You know, keeping it cool. Getting pulled back in. That is a weird effect on that Rev Scepter, huh? But very powerful, right? Like, you get that pull. Get your enemy back in the mix where they don't really want to be. Full neutralization does come through there. Not exactly what blue team had in mind there, but again, they're just kind of one fight away from locking this game in. Let's see if they can make that happen. I think it does make a lot of sense that blue team, like, you know, you'll notice that blue team doesn't dominate the scores quite as much as Draz's team does. I don't think that their comp has a little bit less control over the map, right? Like, having the double Necro means that they are a little bit slower than some of the other teams are. So it's a bit hard to actually completely go, oh, dude, like, Tac Necro doing a PvE rotation here. Oh my god. Like, watching Necro freecast, it's kind of a thing of beauty, and he just did. He absolutely freecasted all over the... You can see the health bars just getting absolutely destroyed by all the Necromancer damage kind of getting spewed out there onto the red team. And with both Necros here, it's going to be a tough engage for red, that's for sure. However, blue team do need to get a node. I think they have now got it. Yep, they absolutely do. There's the notification coming through. There's the audio. And that means red team have got to fight for this. They have to contest this. It's an all-out 5v5 bloodbath. I've got to say, this should, I think, be pretty damn good for the blue team. They are a little bit low, though. Maybe a bit lower on cooldowns than their opponents. But let's see. Chronomancer actually is good to go. Has Moa. No time warp. Oh, Moa's the support, though. That's pain. That's pain. Look at that Moa. Actually has another one, too, there, of course, with the continuum shift. And yeah, just was able to land that Moa, rendering Zealith completely helpless. No way to survive that, really, to be honest with you. And that's just a brutal kill. Druid tries to go for the revival, but no way. That's not going to cut it when there's this many players around. And that's going to lock in the game. Enigma with the Moa finishes this matchup, I believe. And they move on to the semifinals. And that's how it is. End of the game there. Cap is confirmed. Bunch of kills. Blue team surging across the map to clean the rest of everything up. And red. And maybe they've got one more shot. One more shot to win a dramatic team fight, but 3 minutes on the clock is going to be difficult to make up that point differential anyway. So, yeah, it's not looking hot, but here they go. They're going to go for it one more time. The blue team soaking up all of the artifacts. They've got to decapture this in about 5 seconds, or the game is well and truly over, I'm afraid. And yeah, you can see the points sticking up now. Middle is secured. Chronomancer simply AFKing there. Exactly what you got to do. Just win the game. Even if your team dies, doesn't matter. The game is ending. And it does. That is the end of that. All right. There we go. So it's going to be Team Artificial versus Tack. So it's going to be Syndrina, basically, and Misha versus Esprit. And Enigma and Maya. And Seacod and Wolf Spider. You know, just reading the full team roster there, I guess. But we need some team names, you know? That's what we've got to get going again, you know? Should be like Team Tack. And then we have Duraza's team going up against Sakaya. That could be some interesting matches there, I think. Could be a little bit spicy. But we'll see how it goes. He's stuck in his gaming chair all day. Wow. What's going on NA, guys? What's the monthly like on NA servers? What's up with that? NA. Goofy Fest. That's what we're saying? Goofy? There's a little Goofy over there. NA Monthly did not start because of not enough teams. Nice. What about ultimate raids? I mean, they're pretty cool, I guess. USA isn't playing that well today. Grim might win. Dude. Grim dominating NA server? Holy shit. Could it happen? Grim NA leader. Well, it's pretty well known. Grimjack is the only good player in Guild Wars 2. In any game mode. Fact. No, the Grim on EU is Helio Linker. It's not the... He's role-playing. Oh, you know, my biggest wish would be for people to actually use consistent names. It's never gonna happen, but I can want it to happen, you know? Maybe one day, you know? Maybe one day. Yeah, it's not as bad as it used to. You're not wrong. Yeah, it used to be a lot worse. That is true. You can have one account name that shows PvP. You know, you could write a DLL that could do it. I was actually really tempted to do this for tournaments and basically just like link an account name and just like change the text, because you can just change the text, right, of what shows in PvP pretty easily. Ah, yeah, barcode. That was fun, wasn't it? What a classic. All right. Yeah, I think we did see this matchup, and it was a bit gnarly, wasn't it? I definitely think we are going to be seeing our blue team here end up in the finals. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing a rematch, right? I think it will be blue team here, Draza team, going up against Tack as well. That's what I think is going to get spicy. And yeah, I think this matchup could be pretty interesting as well. I think this match could be a little on the exciting side. Here on Capricorn. Good map. So, here on the red team, it's Enigma. It's Maya. Wrecker of Resilience. Wolf Spider. He's actually a spider in real life, guys. Not many people know that. Has eight legs. You know, many legs. We have Seacod. NA. NA, representing the NA server. And Tack. Tack Necro. Esprit. Ready to pump. Going up against King Dongo Bongo. The Vindicator. Zintrex. Spellbreaker. Misha. The Master of Disaster. Syndrana. Just Syndrana this time. There's like 50 thieves with all different names. And Demolish. Ready to demolish. Or, you know, in some likelihood, get demolished on Holosmith. Man, this is not a fun... I just realized, guys. The red team is not fun to play into if you're Holo, right? Holy shit. This is actual cancer. Is this even playable if you play Holo into double Necro Spectre? I don't think it is. I feel like he gets farmed by basically every single DPS on the red team. Unlucky. The
match starts soon.
Unfortunate. Definitely a little bit of a reroll angle, you know? Yeah, maybe don't play Holo in this matchup. But, well, we'll see. Here goes the semi-final. Let's see if blue team can make some magic happen. Let's see what we've got.
An enemy ship is pulling into the
What relic is Demolish running? Ah, is Garin, huh? With Rune the Holosmith. Very appropriate. And Berserker Amulet. Okay, blue going for the push. Holo defending the Bazaar while we see Zintrex and Syndrana pursue their way over towards the dock. Zindra's getting memed by the Phantasm. Pretty funny, actually. Does just barely make it, actually. Will now begin to hold. Well, red team actually getting driven away here a little bit. The Holo and the Vindicator kind of putting in the work there. The push not being
Just
quite
like
successful
that,
yet.
Blue team takes a capture point.
Magnet pull denied there, bit of stability there from the Ranger. And so far, blue team actually picking up the first map. Or first node. Harbinger getting blasted here a little bit here as well. But the support from, of course, the Chronomancer is putting in the work. Feedback actually pretty annoying here, of course. Like a lot of projectiles from that Harbinger, they will be shut down by, you know, the Chronomancer from the blue team. And blue thinking that maybe a bit of a waste of time, leaving the Thief to kind of make something happen here. Getting some damage here onto
like
the Harbinger. I think this is going to be a little bit scary. I think we are going to see Sind able to get this kill. It might take a while because, of course, there's a lot of health. There's a decent amount of tankiness, but again, I'm not sure if there's a huge... Ooh, Sin gets caught there, though, actually. That was not good. Oh, no. Yeah, Sin, he nearly dies there. Yeah, did get caught there by the Harbinger skill 5. A little bit unfortunate. I was going to say how he should be able to get the kill, but yeah, big catch there by the Harbinger, driving that Thief away quite nicely. And red team really putting up a proper fight here, actually. They absolutely are. Kind of abusing, I think, kind of the immobility. The immobility of the Necromancers. We do now start to see some kills coming through, actually, as we have the Chronomancer from red being eliminated. Tack Necro is going to be in trouble here as well, actually. Uh-oh! We are in trouble. And all of a sudden, things are looking a little bit exciting, actually, for our blue team. That's what happens when you shit-talk Holosmith. Just wins. Just wins immediately, you know? So red, they're going to have to actually go for a bit of a recovery arc here. Let's see if they can make this happen. Tack Necro now on respawn. Harbinger already back in the mix. Where's the support? Support is now also back here, helping that Harbinger. Now, Bell is where things are going to get a little bit spicy, because theoretically, the double Necro here is going to be quite merciless. Let's see if we can make it happen. But actually, if the Chronomancer dies before the Bell, that is going to be quite catastrophic. So that's not going to be the case, but actually has to pop Signet of Illusions and basically use everything, actually. So this is going to be a little bit spicy, actually, for the red team, trying to get into this engagement, trying to get into these team fights. And yeah, you can see, like, no time warp. It's such a really good disengage and kind of, like, survivability tool. It's not available here because Mower is going to be the choice here. Ooh, and this will be a really unfortunate death, actually. Ooh, I think they have to get this rally. They're going for it. They're really trying. Can they make it happen? Red needs this. They don't get it. Oh, that is really bad for red team, actually. That was close, too. They nearly managed to get that finish, not able to do so. The cleave was just slightly better there for the blue team. Maybe they can manage to kind of crawl this back by getting this kill and matching it anyway. Let's see if they can. But yeah, losing the Chrono right as the bell is up, that is very, very painful indeed. Harbinger trying to have to hold a 1v2 there for a little bit. here as well, but it's not going to be a comfortable one, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Chronomans from Red actually is back in the play, and trading for the Vindicator is very nice. Like, so a good recovery here by the red team. They don't want to concede the bell, though. They have to get on the node. Maya's able to do it. The Chronomancer should be able to kind of replace her fairly soon. Yeah, here we go. But it's actually is that one tick away? I believe it is. They have to stand on the point. They must stand on the point, or they're going to have to yield this. Now they're starting to push it back in the other direction. So Untamed getting a little bit isolated over there for the red team as well. But red team has managed to kind of scramble and make this work. Like, after a very rocky start going into the first bell, but they are still losing the game. They're going to get triple capped here. They really rushed this. They really surged in towards middle, and now they're having problems. They're in big trouble here currently. Here comes the triple cap. Oh, yeah, there's the thief cap there from Syndra.
Just like that.
And we have the Holster doing it, and blue team, yeah, I mean, they did lose the bell, so that's kind of nice for red, and of course, they should be winning a lot of these bells with that double necro, right? Like, the team fights should be very juicy for them, but again, this is kind of an interesting map, because it's true that it's very, it's good to have a good team fight here, but it's also a big map, right? Like, Necromancer is slow. It will not be easy to kind of get these two necros where they need to be while controlling these objectives simultaneously, and I think blue team is exploiting that very, very heavily, and you can see that here very clearly. Blue team currently in the driving seat, popping off. They want to go to the finals. They want to challenge the Draza team. Misha running away in fear. No heal skill for a while, actually. He has 10 bleeds on him. Enjoy it. Yeah, has to actually use Distort to get rid of those bleeds. Attack Necro going for the chase, but when she kind of runs into the Untamed too, this is actually really scary for Misha now. Is he just dead? He has the block. Is he going to be able to actually get his heal skill off, though? That's like, I think, where things get interesting. Yeah, he's going to get CC'd, right? He gets CC'd and actually is going to be killed. Yeah, that's the problem with the Mantra. It's very powerful to get it off, but, of course, very vulnerable to any kind of crowd control. And, of course, I imagine the Ranger was kind of waiting for that, was very much ready for that situation. And Seacod also falls over here as well. Ben Shapiro and Syndra finding that kill. Maya getting chased away simultaneously. Wow. Wow. Red team is actually losing this. They've got to come up with a solution pretty quick, actually. Because, again, we're nearly halfway through the match. Never forget that. Like, yeah, they're only 100 points separated, but the time is ticking. And red team, they've got to find a solution here, or they are going to find themselves eliminated. Tat Necro getting the kill on the Vindicator as the bell comes up. That's massive. Okay, that's the kind of thing they need. Ooh, but Misha might be coming in for the revival, but actually, yeah, there's going to be a stomp. So that's not going to be an issue whatsoever. In fact, now that gives them the advantage to actually take some of these fights there. Maybe look for the bell. Meanwhile, Hollow from blue, incredibly low here. Untamed going for that kill, and with the Spectre coming in, things get a little bit scary. Syndra blasting, though, actually completely shuts down the aggression. Maybe even finds the kill. Is there maybe a Shadow Step Stomp available here? There actually is not. Yeah, I think he had to use it to stun break there, actually. So wasn't able to set it up as he quite wanted to go for that cleave, but not able to quite get it. Hollowsmith now goes down there for blue team. Red team get another bell. That is painful for blue. I'm not going to lie. That means they do need to accelerate ahead, because the next bell, which they also might lose, is going to be 75 whole points, and that's when that gap can get closed by that secondary objective. They would have really liked to kind of stall that by picking up one of those bells. However, red team getting a lot of kills. Misha now falling. Zinner's going for the res. I'm not sure. Is that realistic? It's going to be very difficult, I think. Yeah, almost impossible.
Did you see that?
As you can see there, more players from blue now re-entering this fight, but again, they don't have a support, so I don't think they can realistically engage this super well. Tries to find the pull. Doesn't get it. And now let's see, what's the plan? Like, blue do have this dock node just ticking away, and it's a bit of a lifeline in this game. Now we see a response from that. Maya going over there to get that cap. Syndra kind of looking for an opportunity here to do the thief stuff. Looks like he sees it here in middle, and he definitely does, actually. Here we go. Wants to go for the Necromancer, I think, or the Chronomancer. What's it going to be? It's going to be the Chrono here, I think. At least for the time being. King Dongo Bongo being driven away, but we do have that isolation coming through directly onto the Chronomancer on red team. Doesn't quite get it again, though. And red team, they're finding a bit of stability here. They can't afford to die here. They need to win the next bell and slowly get a couple of nodes on the board. They're succeeding in doing that. They have the Bazaar, but they lose their support, and that's a big problem, because those Necros are now very, very vulnerable. It's open season on these Necromancers, and blue team, they're going in for the hunt. They find Tac Necro. They might be finding Seacod as well. This is actually looking very, very bad, actually. This is Annihilation. Boom. Destruction coming through, and this time we might actually see the bell be securable. Yeah. Bell coming up in 30 seconds, and with these bleeds, Maya falls down too. If blue team bleeds this, they should be able to pick up this Bell, and that will kind of lock in the game. Actually, that was a brutal team fight. That Chrono dies, everything collapses, both Necros and the Thief. There's just the Untamed left over, and again, the Untamed is currently occupied by the Thief. If this Bell goes to blue, this game is kind of over, to be honest. And to be frank, even if they don't, it's kind of over. Like, there's just such a map advantage in favor of blue right now. They have the triple cap. Untamed just getting stuck here, pretty much. It's being intercepted. There's just not enough red team players on the map currently. There's the Annihilation. Hollow destroys. And there it is. That's game over. That's GG. And red team, they're doing what they should do. They're going for a full regroup, but I think it's over. I believe it's over. 400 points, and now all blue team has to do is kind of just play it safe and just not int. If they just have like one node capped, it's just an auto win, if we're being honest here. It really is.
Did you see that? Red team got a capture
Wait,
point.
holy shit. Dude. Wait, each one of these little things lights up when a team caps the bell. Look, there's 2 for red and 1 for blue. How have I never noticed that before? That's actually insane. But yeah, Demolish. Of course, one of the feedmen as well. Feedman roster is going to be pushing through. Yeah. Going to make that happen, I think. Yeah, Sin, this is what you got to do. Just decap, right? Don't care about winning fights. You just got to decap right now. At the end of the day. And they're also winning the fight too, which I guess is a nice bonus. Maya falls. Tac Necro also falling. Enigma. Not long for this Earth as well, I think. Goes to the kite spot, tries to hold on, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Does have blink up in a couple of seconds, so might be able to just barely wriggle away at this point. Wants to maybe try and contest it. He wants to die on node, I think. Yeah, he's just going to go for it, but I mean, look, it's a little bit late for that at this point. It's going to be dying on node and then leaving the game and getting eliminated from the tournament. We are actually going to be seeing a very exciting finals, guys. It is going to be the Master of Disaster versus Draza in finals. We're not having the French versus French. We're not going to be seeing, Esprit versus Pain. It's going to be almost a classic matchup. You know, teammates, rank 55 versus rank 55. Very exciting. Let's see what they've got, shall we? Prepare yourselves.
Red team got a capture point.
Game over.
Blue team grabbed a capture point.
Wait, whoa! We've got some spice coming out. It's going to be demolished from the Chronomancer here, actually. It's going to be oh, hang on. No, it's not. Nice bait. I almost got excited there. Misha, Master Disaster, support Chronomancer. Again, little rune variant there. Rune of the Guardian, a bit more tankiness. Syndrana, Deadeye. Remember the Warrior, Unseen Invasion. Zintrex. Druid, oh, interesting. Druid Rune, actually, for vitality and healing with Isgaran. King Dongo Bongo, Scholar, Relic of the Daredevil, Berserker Amulet, and of course, Demolish. Feedman Leader, Team Barcode member, Holosmith versus Grim, aka Helio, aka Zand. Support Chrono. Boom, love to see that. Boyce, Untamed. Draza. Oh, Relic of the Wayfinder. He swapped it up. Got away from the Zakharos Relic. Interesting. Little juice here. Draza on the Spellbreaker here. Riken, Vindicator, and the Honored One. It's Pain on Daredevil. Ready to pump. Saw some Deadeye before, actually. It's going to be the Daredevil this time around. Let's see how that kind of interplays here as well. But red team, they're going for it. They want to take out Draza immediately. They're going for that focus. Can they find this kill? The Untamed is actually going to drive them away. Blue team getting the first cap there. Red team not actually getting a push off towards that windmill, but having to actually deal with one on their side of the map there as well with the Chronomancer and, of course, the Vindicator making that push happen. They are going to be an exact mirror matchup, actually. So that's going to be interesting to see how that one actually ends up transpiring. Meanwhile, Draza still in a bit of trouble, actually, but actually pulls off the 1v2 and lands it. Can he actually hold, though? Manages to get that kill onto Syndrana, while also kind of surviving Zintrex at the same time. That's not going to be revival here, I don't think. Oh, but actually, Zintrex finds that kill, and Sin maybe gets the teleport. Zintrex going for the sword, has balance stars, gets it. A little maybe too greedy there from Draza, and mercilessly punished here by Zintrex, utilizing that balance stance to guarantee that stomp while Syndra teleported and stealthed away. That was kind of nice, actually. Sin able now to go for that stealth, going for the decap. The Honored One Not really sure what to do here. Can't really engage because, again, that Hollow and the Deadeye lurking around. No decap there for Sind, unfortunately. Did see that Thief. Wants to try and get some action here as well. Maybe getting rid of Boyce potentially. And Red Team securing that double cap. Here we go. We have the Holosmith pushing there. Going to find that decap as well. And bear in mind, not much of an opportunity for Pain to do the same right now as we have Zintrex holding firm. And the 2v2 is kind of still going on over here, right? At the same time, it is being held. And you can see Misha and King Dongo Bongo holding on nicely.
Red team wins a capture point.
Actually, I kind of mean there as well. If for some reason I thought this was like red side of the map, but this is blue side. So yeah, these guys pushed here as well. They've been holding on for a long time, but I think they're about to maybe run out of steam here as well. King Dongo Bongo is going to go down. Syndra does end up dying as well, unfortunately. Oh, it's a good start, but blue team getting back in here with a bit of a vengeance. Zintrex gets the contest here on middle, which is definitely nice. Stemming the bleeding just a little bit, but... Oh, he's off. No, this is such a brutal bleed for the red team. Yeah, because this allows the full cap and then still the bleed after that. That is pain. Oh, interesting choice to go for the self-res. Maybe seeing that Sin's coming. Oh, he reflected into himself and maybe actually kind of sealed his fate. That's a bit unfortunate, actually. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to get that anyway, let's be honest. Like, not with Riken coming in. There's no way that was getting self-resed. But, man, we got ourselves a proper game here. We absolutely do.
Blue team takes a capture point.
Zintrex in a bit of trouble. Has the heal, though. Rampage available, too. Bear that in mind. So we have some defensive abilities still available for the Warrior. We'll be able to hold on quite nicely. Actually, he's starting to run a little bit out of juice. Has to be a little bit careful. There's a lot of damage in these games. It's very easy to die very, very quickly. And we also have the Holosmith here. Demolish in a little bit of trouble. But Misha able to resupport him. But red team, they stumble a little bit. They had a really nice start there. Getting that kill on Drazu was fantastic. Very good little sequence there from then. But now they've got to find that again. Now they've got to make it happen too. That Vindicator on the hunt for the Holosmith. The support, though, is good. Is there kill potential? The Honored One... the Honored One wriggles away there. Blue team not wanting to overcommit to this. Zintrex dies here as well. Draza finishing the job there. Syndranet kind of lurking around here on middle. Oh, is he going to get caught? That's not looking good, actually. He's got nothing. He can't get away. Oh, no. It's kind of... Ooh, yeah, it's kind of falling apart a little bit, isn't it? Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it very much is not really what we like to see here, unfortunately. And the Hollow and the Deadeye both die. It's not over by any stretch of the imagination, but blue team are getting into that solid position. They are rock solid right now, currently. And let's see if red team can figure something out. For example, me figuring out to put my character model limit up. There we go. Boom. Now I can actually see everyone. Beautiful stuff. Okay, then. So, red team just taking this fight. Looking for a kill on the Vindicator. Are they going to find it? Ooh, they're hollow, though. Yeah, the weakness was smelled there by the blue team. They zone in and they kill it immediately. And bear in mind, this is on red team's side of the map as well. So they're just going to get pushed back into their spawn with no opportunity to really contest the map whatsoever. Misha has to run away, has to kind of lead the team. Puts a portal down. Zintrex doesn't need it, though. He leaps away. He's a warrior. He has no need of that. King Dongo Bongo going towards middle here. But actually, not in a super good spot, if we're being honest. Bit isolated in a 1v3 scenario. The support is on the way, but is it going to be in time? Let's go manage to get the evade away, but I think the blue team going to be in hot pursuit there. Support coming through from the allies is here, but the CC is a little bit annoying. King Dongo Bongo in a lot of trouble there. The healing is actually massive, though, from one dodge man. It comes through just barely enough. Just barely enough to hold on right now. But actually, the pursuit of red team, they are going no mercy. They are going all in on this. But actually, the healing is very nice. And actually, maybe a slight overcommit there as Riken now in trouble. Support from Blue Chronomancer is going to have to come through there to kind of save the situation. But actually, Riken is going to get taken out. But again, look at the map right now, guys. Okay, that initial fight pushing red all the way back to the spawn. It was a massive point advantage in favor of the blue team. It absolutely was. And now the Holosmith also in trouble. Getting shut down, getting smushed into the ground, unfortunately. One dodge man now alone as well. And, oh, what an exciting start to this match. But I think it is starting to fizzle a little bit as blue team take more and more control over this game. And less opportunities appear to be visible for our red team to get into this. I definitely think that the blue team's been doing a very good job of shutting Sin down as well. Like, the Deadeye is something that you have to you must have an answer. You have to deal with this Deadeye. If you don't, it is going to farm you the entire game. And I definitely think that the blue team here, they're experienced against it. They know what to do against it, and they have been shutting it down pretty well. They've been really finding those kills, knowing the opportunity to eliminate the Deadeye and taking those opportunities too. King Dongo Bongo now eliminated as well. One Dodge Man now completely isolated from the team. Holosmith trying to get in there and help, but it's looking over. It's looking over, guys, for this final, I'm afraid. It's looking giga over. Oh, what an anti-climax, guys. Goodness me. Well, I guess it is what it is. You know what I'm saying, guys? It is what it is, I suppose. Can Red Team make a miraculous comeback? Can they do it? Yeah, Draza. Misha in trouble, though. Gets the blink. He's able to get out. Needs to get his heal skill back, though, so it's going to be a little bit out of commission for a while. Maybe help from afar with the rifle. Okay. And Red Team trying to scrabble back into this game. King Dongo Bongo looking to connect. Finding that DPS. Pumping. Misha now moving into the mix. Support comes through. But again, these fights are just not really going Red Team's way. I mean, they do get Riken here, but it's a little bit too slow, and they're going to get the double cap now, but the Thief is decapping middle. Holosmith into the Warrior 1v1, and yeah, that's going to be a little bit rough, I think, for the Holo, to be honest. Now, of course, Pain, the Honored One, about to move in. Look at the Daredevil, guys. You know, Daredevil is something that, you know, I think people have been sleeping on it a little bit, right? Like, people have been saying, oh, yeah, bro, you know, like, if you want to win, you got to play Deadeye, but, well, here it is, Deadeye. Moving to, Daredevil, rather, proving to be incredibly effective, hunting down those kills, finding those targets, and just the burst damage is, you know, it's there. It's enough. It really is enough. Blue team grabbed the capture is probably going to win. It is over. It is over, my friends.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture point.
I have all the different crowns. You know, I think some people do, actually. Well, no, I mean, I think Naru does. I'm not sure how many people do, because this is a classic PvP moment. Most of the people who had all of them got permabanned. Helio included, of course. So... I'm not sure how many people do now, actually. Or, like, how many current accounts do. I guess Zeromus probably does, too, I think.
Red team wins
but there's probably a couple people who have them. But, like, a lot of the accounts that did don't exist anymore. Although people must be getting there now, actually. People must be getting back to it. Because it's been a while since all of the content went down, you know, back in the day. So I think, you know, the crown collections are, they're back, you know, they're getting back. Yeah. Sin does? Oh, yeah, Sin probably does, actually. I don't know, though. He hasn't actually played all the monthlies. That's the thing. Like, the thing about the monthlies is that NA were very, like, Team USA was very consistent, like, playing all the time as a team. Like, EU a little bit more sporadic, actually. Like, a lot of these guys didn't play nearly as much, you know, just not as consistently. You just wouldn't play all the monthlies, right? But anyway, that is the end of that. I mean, Red Team, they're kind of making something. Maybe we shouldn't be too presumptuous. I mean, I do think that Blue Team is massively ahead here, to be honest. I'm not sure if there's much of a hope for Red Team to come back, but yeah, they're making something happen a little bit. Have that one node there with the Windmill Warrior 1v1 going on over there. And, you know, Red Team making some progress here as well, actually, on this node. King Dongo Bongo and Misha trying to force the issue. They're able to do that as well. Blue Team disengaging, not wanting to just leave that stalled for such a long time. Boyce actually in trouble. Sin finds the kill on Boyce. Oh, is that revivable, though? That's, oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, Chronomancer comes into the mix alongside the stealth there. making it difficult to finish that kill. Red team now with the double cap. I'm not even sure if that's enough. That's the thing. They've got to make up 200 points in 3 minutes. That's hard to do, especially in a game like, you know, of this caliber. It's going to be very non-trivial to try and make that happen. As you can see here, and blue just doing their best, just not dying, slowing the game down, keeping their point advantage. That's what they need. Warrior 1v1 over here between Zintrix and Draza is, of course, actually essentially being won by Zintrix as he's able to hold the node. Ooh, Helio gets caught on middle. That could be an opening, but we need a triple cap. We need a triple cap. We do. We need a triple cap. Let's see if we can make it happen. There we go. That's that. Oh, but Sin dies. King Dongo Bongo dies. And I think that's going to be GG. Hate to say it, that's a GG situation. Misha goes for those. He knows he has to. He's got to res this, really. There's no other way out of this. Has to be resed, but it's not going to be possible. The damage there from the Honored One and Riken is too much. One Dodge Man also falls. And blue team are going to find themselves winning. Red team is bad. Oh, my God. That's brutal. But wait, actually, no. You picked Draza's team because you're option 1. You picked option 1. So you're okay, actually. You're not losing your points. You're actually gaining points, I think. But anyway, that's going to do it. Blue team with a double cap. 268 points to 420. And blue team are making it happen. Demolish, bleeding out. Misha, about to get back on respawn, but I think it's a little bit too late to make any kind of magic happen at this stage in the game. There you have it. Game over. GG is called by Misha. One Dodge Man. And that is the end of that. The end of the monthly ArenaNet tournament for the Skull. The Skull's pretty good, actually. This is a decent one, I'd say. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. It's over. Yeah, everyone's split up these days. There's no God team on EU. That's kind of the interesting thing, right? Like, there's no God team on EU servers. And there you have it. Honestly, I want to say this tournament was fairly mediocre. This wasn't that hype. Hopefully it'll be better with... It'll be better after the expansion, I think. I'd say mediocre hype tournament, if I'm being real. There wasn't the energy. Maybe people don't really like the the Skull that much. It was pretty mid. Yeah, it was definitely pretty mid. If I'm being real here.